CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey Lynn. A search operation is still underway in southwestern Iran after an American fighter jet was shot down yesterday. One crew member was rescued, but another is still missing. And former F-15 pilot Robert Teschner tells our news partner, the BBC, what was likely going through their minds when their plane went down on enemy grounds.
First thing is, how do I get myself away from where it is that I am? And then how do I make contact with friendly forces to get myself back into friendly hands?
And national security contributor Sam Vinograd says Iran is clearly sending a message.
The Iranian regime is taking a victory lap right now. They're taking a victory lap to message internally that they retain capabilities that can harm Americans, and they're taking a victory lap with propaganda globally to tell the world that despite 5 weeks of an American and Israeli barrage, that they retain capabilities that could harm American service members.
This comes as President Trump has said the war is nearing its end and Iran's military capabilities are largely destroyed. The ride to the moon has been extraordinary so far. Canadian crew member Jeremy Henson described what he felt as the spacecraft pushed out of Earth's orbit and toward the moon for a historic flyby.
To come in for that transitor injection, we came all the way back to Earth again. We were out there at 60,000 kilometers. We came back to within 200 kilometers of the planet, and it just felt like we were falling out of the sky back to Earth. And I said to Reed, feels like we're going to hit it. It's amazing that we're actually going to go around and miss this thing. It was just so close.
Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Skanga reports we may have to start taking our shoes off again while going through airport security.
In a letter obtained exclusively by CBS News, Senator Tammy Duckworth demanded TSA immediately rescind its shoes on policy, calling it a reckless act that may be placing the flying public at risk. The Illinois Democrat serves as the ranking member of the Senate subcommittee overseeing aviation, and she's warned the policy was likely implemented without meaningful consultation with the TSA.
The onions are coming. CBS's Jim Crisula is in Vidalia, Georgia.
Aries Haygood is president of A&M Farms in Toombs County.
The onions are happy right now, it looks like. They're green, they're standing up, so it seems like they're growing well.
Haygood says Mother Nature has thrown Georgia onion growers a, quote, few curveballs, with everything from severe drought conditions to late-season freezes.
State officials say Georgia's world-famous Vidalia onions will be shipped to stores beginning April 13th. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
President Trump has signed an executive order targeting reforms in college sports, giving federal agencies power to cut funding to schools that don't follow new rules on transfers, eligibility, and athlete compensation. Well, there's a new legal battle brewing over one of pop music's most iconic dance moves. Darren Henson is the choreographer behind NSYNC's hit Bye Bye Bye. He's suing Sony Music, claiming the company illegally licensed his routine for use in the film Deadpool and Wolverine.
Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever.
Henson says he owns the copyright to the choreography and never gave permission for its use in the movie. Sony has reportedly questioned whether the dance can be copyrighted at all. The lawsuit seeks compensation and recognition of ownership and could have major implications for how choreography is protected and paid in film, music, and gaming. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Gusty showers and storms early this morning give way to periods of clouds and sun today and a very warm day with a high of 84, breaking the record of 83. But rain returns tonight with a gusty thunderstorm, the low 49, leading to a couple of morning showers early on Easter Sunday, then cloudy and cooler, high 53, with a shower Monday, high 53. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Rob Fracks on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Here we go, the holiday weekend with your Pratt Pack, the Saturday edition. And on page one, Iran shot down 2 U.S. military planes in separate attacks yesterday, with 1 service member rescued and at least 1 missing in a dramatic escalation since the war began nearly 5 weeks ago. It was the first time U.S. aircraft had been downed in a conflict and came just 2 days after President Donald Trump said in a national address that the U.S. has beaten and completely decimated Iran and was going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. 1 fighter jet was shot down in Iran, officials said. A U.S. crew member from that plane was rescued, but the second was missing, and a U.S. military search and rescue operation is underway. All right, so let me just be clear about this. That's it. That's the final straw. It is time for us to send in ground troops to finish this operation. It's the only way it will end. If you look at any conflict that this country has been involved in, quote, unquote, war, going back to Korea, Vietnam, everything we've done as far as the Persian Gulf, Desert Storm, and also in the Middle East, what we're dealing with now, and also putting right smack dab in the middle of all of that, Afghanistan, for 20 years. We have never utilized ground troops the way we are supposed to use ground troops, because it's always been about trying to turn the other cheek, basically step away to fight another day, to give them an opportunity to right the ship, to be a better nation. It's not going to happen. This regime is almost asking us to finish the job. Or why would they be doing such heinous acts? And I know what you're saying, well, they didn't start it, but they did 50 plus years ago. And then by the time the early 80s rolled around, game on. They have done nothing but cause horrible headlines throughout the world every single generation. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I do not blame the president if he would use the 82nd Airborne, already there. Men and women, of course, from the military around the world that represent this great country deserve an opportunity to end the war, end a conflict, have a chance to raise the flag in victory. I have had enough of this regime and what they continue to do. We have said, they have gone on record, they want a ceasefire. This is the headline from around the world. And what do? They just keep pushing their luck. It's almost as though they would rather go down than give up. If that's the case, we can accommodate them on that. Look, do not want war, do not want deaths on either side, but this has gone on long enough. And if this isn't enough for the president to finish the job, and I guarantee you he's thinking about it right now like I am speaking to you on this Saturday morning, then you tell me what. It's time for Team USA to prevail. Enough is enough. Yeah, I can't just tell you how upset and infuriated I am. And as I was busy yesterday that went well into the night, I kept basically leaning back to CBS News to get the latest. And the latest just got worse. And now we have a crew member missing. What happens if this crew member is alive and then once again they put him on display? They basically put this fighter pilot on display, ridicule, hurt, torture, and maybe even pay some sort of terrorist organization to do it, to where they can basically say, it isn't us. And if you're telling me this morning they'll never give up, we have to get out, then guess what? You may not have the courage or the backbone of the parents and grandparents that were a part of your life in another generation. But I do. And I know many of you are saying, well, you're not there. Your children are not there. No, but if I was of age and I was asked to serve, I would. And my children would do the same. Because that's what you do as a member of the United States of America. What is it going to take for this country to stand up for the flag? What is it going to take for people who have been born in this country with privilege that many people around the world, including the 90 million people in Iran, would love to have? If not us, then who? And if not us, why? Why would you want someone else to finish this job when they have continued to attack you and others? These Arab states that supposedly were their allies, if I were them, I would be right now taking arms with the United States. I would circle this country from every angle, every nook and cranny, and I would make a push right to Tehran. I would finish it, cut the head of the snake off, basically level the playing field, and if anybody gets in our way, shame on them. Because now we have a fighter pilot missing on the ground in enemy territory. And I can promise you this, I will not back down. I will never retreat. I will never take a step backwards when it comes to the honor, the democracy, who we are, the men and women of our military, the sacrifices that have been made and continue to be made to this day. This is a topic that has gone to the point of no return. There is no way you back out now. If you accept a ceasefire and back out now, or simply say we are leaving Iran, once again, just like Afghanistan, like Vietnam, like Korea, we appear to be beaten. We appear to be beaten, and I'm tired of being beaten in every aspect of who we are and what people have done to give us the privilege to be members of the United States of America. Am I a little excited on this Saturday morning? You bet I am. Because once again, we have given them opportunity after opportunity. They are decimated. There is nothing left. Why do you think that they are doing these desperate moves? Because they're hoping that the bleeding hearts around the world will take pity on them and offer an olive branch and say, we understand where you're coming from. And don't any of you understand the only reason, and there is no other reason why anybody would be showing any pity on this country, is because they want the oil. They are putting their priorities ahead of the human race. They are putting their thought process ahead of reasoning. And the reasoning is simple. These are cold-blooded, calculated murderers. It's that simple. Murderers. And as they continue to see their own people caught up in this war, no fault of their own, that's why the Iranian people aren't fighting back. They want us there. They know what this government is capable of. And for those of you who simply do not like the United States, who do not like Israel, that's your right. But I'm not one of them. I respect, honor, and will always be supportive of the state of Israel and the United States of America, because that's who I am, a member of the citizenship. I understand what I have being a citizen of the United States. I never take it for granted. And anytime I have men and women of the military in battle and many facing deadly consequences, there is nothing that would ever make me turn my back on America. Has to end. We have to finish this and finish it now. Hey, you can listen to us, 100.1 FM, AM 1020 KDKA on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. You can also watch us online with our KDKA video stream presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to KDKA-radio.com and click on Watch KDKA Radio Livestream, or now you can just go to our KDKA YouTube page and watch everything that's happening in our studio. NASCO Roofing, instant access to our shows a click away. Email us at instantaccess, KDKA-radio.com. Want to get you caught up? Night before ticket drop. Here we go. Here's a list of the upcoming ticket drops for a night before, featuring Jason Aldean, John Morgan, and Shane Prophet at Rivers Casino, April 22nd. So here is what we have for you. Coming up, April the 6th, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., King's Jewelry, 2215 Route 19, Box 201, Cranberry. April the 7th from 5 to 6 p.m., Lowry's Western Shop, 935 Henderson Avenue, Washington. April the 8th from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30, AAA Wexford, 10628 Perry Highway, Unit 12, Wexford. April the 9th from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., Pella Windows and Doors Showroom of Warrendale, 230 Thorn Run Road, Warrendale, Pennsylvania. Your calls next.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Pirate shortstop Connor Griffin, Major League debut, first at bat, RBI double. Bucks go in to win 5-4 against Baltimore. And Mitch Keller gets the win. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 4:05 first pitch, 93-7 the Fan. NCAA Women's Final Four, it was South Carolina over UConn 62-48. And UCLA defeated Texas 51-44. Men's Final Four coming up. Today, it's Illinois, UConn, and Michigan and Arizona. Penn's Florida at 5 o'clock. Texas Open through 2 rounds. Robert McIntyre, 14 under with a 4-shot lead. And the Riverhounds will be on the pitch with a match against Indianapolis at 7 p.m. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to GoodRx.com/weight-loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, if you know someone in your community who has done something extraordinary in the past year, nominate them now. KDKRadio.com to be honored at Larry's Hometown Heroes. Here's Ken, Lower Borough. Good morning, Kenny.
Rob, yeah, I had 3 different subjects I wanted to talk about, but this downing of this jet is on the forefront at this point in time. I feel bad for the service members' families, and I hope everything works out okay. But again, this is a war, and things will happen not in a good way. Hopefully the end result of all this somehow brings out a positive ends in that region, because it's not been positive out of there for years. And I remember as a kid the hostages that were in Iran and how we exited that. That was a disaster. But anyway, I had 3 other things I wanted to talk about. People got a hold of me this week as I was making my rounds doing my yards. One, Allegheny County, a gentleman over in Creighton was talking about you got to not have Anamorata reassess those homes. They're having problems that a lot of people can't afford if they reassess, and they bought them at $40,000 or $50,000 and they're reassessed at $120,000. I mean, the real estate market goes up and down, and I feel bad for a lot of these seniors. If things double or triple out on their taxes, that could be a problem. And another thing, I had a guy stop me yesterday, which was a real good friend of mine. I hadn't seen him since fall. He goes, "Hey, Ken, what about your boy Trump? What's going on with that?" He said, "The price of gas is through the roof." He said, "I'm not going to be able to keep the business going if it hits $6 a gallon." And I said, "Hey, Paul," I said, "you know what?" I said, we're at a war here now. I said, "There's an excuse that the price of gas is a little higher." I said, "What was Biden Obama's problem when it hit $5.25, $5.30 a gallon, and it stayed in the 4s under Biden?" I said, "What was that?" I said, he goes, "You know what, you're right." He goes, "I didn't think back." I said, it's not been that long. People forget I mean, after they killed the Keystone Pipeline, prices went up. And I fear I'm hoping he gets these prices down before his end of his term, which I think they will be. But you know what? I look at it this way. What affects everyone, and in a positive or a negative way, these politicians are not helping anyone. I mean, if you put a tax on one person, it's everyone affects that. And I tell everybody, it's not just you. It's your kids. It's your grandkids. They're going to be paying that tax here for the rest of their lives if they stay. And it looks like a lot of people are leaving. And then something happened in Pittsburgh. I don't know when it was. My information officer got this to me. I didn't have a chance to check on it. Something happened, and it's bad. It was about. Did you ever hear of a Selena Zito?
Say that again.
A Selena Zito. She writes for the Washington Examiner.
I have not.
I have not either. But anyway, some of the vile stuff that was going on in Pittsburgh, these anti-Trump protests, where they were, it was pretty bad. And I know Pittsburgh, they need bathrooms down in Pittsburgh. As people go, and Marty Griffin talks about this all the time. People go in the bathroom on the sidewalks by river building apartments, and they're putting freaking. People had to walk out on Liberty Avenue because it was so bad. I mean, I don't go down there. I mean, we have enough problems up this end. We try to keep things civil. Anything like that would happen would be pretty bad. They would stop it. And now they're starting to have roving gangs of kids up here. I saw on the news the other day up in New Kensington destroying parks. So that's going to have to be stopped. But other than that, I better let your other callers call in. I'm sure they're going to have some comments here on everything.
Well, I can tell you this. Yesterday was a spectacular day downtown. Federal Street was just a sea of black and gold, and the city never looked better. So all I'm telling you, with the draft coming and the opener yesterday, Pirates all weekend, I felt the pulse of Pittsburgh yesterday. So I get you have some complaints and others do, but as far as I'm concerned, the city never looked better yesterday. Pittsburgh's finest were out. It was just a wonderful, wonderful day, and it gave me a lot of hope. 866-391-1020. Let's keep it going. Here's Joanne in Point Breeze. Good morning, Joanne.
Hi. And I'm glad that guy said things are not just happening down in Pittsburgh. They're happening in every neighborhood. So people don't want to say that and believe that, but it's not just downtown. The other thing, how many people, I'm glad we still have a few little things that we can be happy about. But after I heard that plane went down, it just made me sick. And I'm glad people are joyous and happy. And I'm happy for the Pirates and the Steelers in the draft. But it makes me sick that our soldiers are over there fighting, over there putting their lives, and they're still begging for the DAV and other veterans. How many people reached in their pocket any time, and their lives are in their this week, and reached in to do something for the veterans that have put their lives, so we can rah this president, and he's so wonderful. I don't know about anybody else, but it just made me sick to know that here it is, one of our soldiers who, when they came back, they never got appreciated, and they still don't, because they should not be out there begging on the TV, begging for money for the DAV and our veterans. So you can rah and anybody else, everybody has their opinion for this man who everything he wants his name on, it's not about America, it's about him. So God bless America and not him. Well, him too, he's here. But, dig in your pocket, help these people that have fought and not have gotten any kind of appreciation. Oh, my goodness. Have a good week, Rob.
All right. Thanks, Joanne. Here's Cynthia in Florida. Cynthia, good morning. Welcome to KDKA.
Hey, good morning. I called to talk about Vietnam. But first I want to say, you described Trump when he was talking about he wants the oil. When he had his little speech, he said, well, let the Europeans have it. Well, you know what? Iran gave the French permission to go through the Strait of Hormuz. The people in Europe will end up getting permission to go through, and we won't. Secondly, there were 5 planes that were impacted yesterday, not just the 2. Trump, you talked about the Arabs, siding with us. I don't know if you missed this. Last week, Trump actually said King Bonesaw was kissing his behind. You know what they're doing? They're not buying weapons from us anymore. They'll probably buy them from Russia. Now, I was talking to my husband. He was a Vietnam veteran. I talked to him about this yesterday. And I talked to my brother, my oldest brother, who was a Green Beret, who was in Laos and Cambodia, where he had no business being, just like our soldiers have no business in Iran. He said this was not going to go well. But I want people to read about the battle that drove the French out of Vietnam. It was called Dien Bien Phu. The French had the same kind of plan like taking over Kharg Island. The Vietnamese beat the brakes off of them because they had their weapons hidden in the mountains, and they were bringing them out, and they were taking the planes down, and they were taking the French soldiers down, drove them out. We don't know where all of their weapons, Iranian weapons, are hidden. And right now, they're only using their old ones. They have advanced weapons, and that's why you're seeing me telling us, come closer. And we can't protect our bases there, which is why a lot of our soldiers are staying in hotels. Those places are being bombed. The Middle East, the Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, the U.S. embassy was blown up. We have no business being there. And I heard the guy was saying that, the pilot was what he was probably thinking when he was going down. He's probably thinking Trump is a fool. We have no business being there. This is not going to be better. We can bomb them into the Stone Age, as Trump said, kill all the people he claimed he wanted to free. And I remember he said 45,000. Which is it, 30,000 or 45,000? It was 3,127 people that were killed because the CIA and the Mossad instigated them to go in, gave them weapons, and the Iranian police had to kill them. We have no business being there, and this is not going to get better. And I told you that. This 6,000-year-old culture is not going down, and we'll be lucky if we make it past 250 years. This is ridiculous.
All right, Cynthia,
anything you want to ask me?
No, I got nothing to say because we disagree, but I have to give you your opportunity to speak. I appreciate your opinion.
Thanks.
All right, be good. No, I totally disagree with her, everything she says, but hey, that's what I do. I have to give people a platform, but my platform is to say we have to finish it, and we can finish it. There is no reason why this ragtag regime should be able to defeat the most powerful military in the world. And for any of you who disagree with me, that's fine. But I am a true blue American, and I believe in who we are. I believe in the men and women of our military. And anything other than an unconditional surrender or the complete annihilation of that regime, it's a loss, and I'm tired of losing. We have been nothing but a culture of losing since the late 70s and early 80s, from Watergate to what happened in the latter stages of the Carter administration with gas rationing, double-digit inflation. We have $1 trillion worth of credit card debt in our country today. That's ridiculous. And you know what they keep doing? Oh, the price of the pump, the price of groceries. That's nonsense. You can figure out how to negotiate. And I remember when it was gas rationing, okay? And you can put a grocery list together and save money and get good quality food. That's all nonsense. We're going to take away your Medicare. We're going to take away your Social Security. That's nonsense. Be an American. Stiff upper lip. Full steam ahead. Support what matters and let this military finish the job. And I have no problem if by the end of today I hear that boots on the ground are on the ground and they are fighting to free the people of Iran. No problem whatsoever. This has to end now. 866-391-1020.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Pittsburgh is on the clock. Our comprehensive draft coverage is powered by Bowser Chevrolet. It's more than just the players. It's the vibe of the city. Where to go? What to do? We have you covered. It's presented by Target Freight Management and brought to you by your local AAA travel office and by Groundworks, formerly Baker's Waterproofing. On the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
CBS News Brief. An American fighter jet was shot down yesterday over Iran. Former F-15 pilot Robert Teschner tells our news partner, the BBC, what the crew members were likely thinking when their plane went down.
How do I make contact with friendly forces to get myself back into friendly hands?
One was rescued, another is still missing. A historic moon flyby was exhilarating, says Artemis II crew member Jeremy Hansen.
It just felt like we were falling out of the sky back to Earth, and I said to Reed, feels like we're going to hit it. It's amazing that we're actually going to go around and miss this thing. It was just so close.
You may be required to once again take off your shoes when you go through TSA. CBS's Nicole Skanga tells us a lawmaker's pushing for the change.
In a letter obtained exclusively by CBS News, Senator Tammy Duckworth demanded TSA immediately rescind its shoes on policy, calling it a reckless act that may be placing the flying public at risk.
CBS News Brief. I'm Stacey Lynn.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Berg with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. Schley Deck and Fence Company. Call today for an estimate on your rotten, rusted, paint shipping railings. Get your railings safe again by spring. Call 412-515-6575. Schley Deck and Fence. SchleyDeckCompany.com. Happy home improvement season from Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Home equity loan rates are as low as 5.25%. For full terms and to see if you qualify, visit AllegiantFCU.org. Membership eligibility required. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Early morning showers and storms give way to clouds and sun today with a high of 84. That would break the record of 83. Rain returns for tonight, some of it heavy with a gusty thunderstorm, the low 49. Then Easter Sunday starts with a couple of showers, then cloudy and cooler, high 53, with a mix of clouds and sun Monday and another shower, high 53. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, back to it on Monday. Having a great weekend. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6. I'll catch you on Monday right here, KDK.
All right, let's keep it going. 866-391-1020. Open talk until 7 o'clock today, talking about that jet pilot that is missing on the ground in Iran. Robert in Plum, you're on KDK. Good morning, Robert.
Well, first of all, good morning, Rob, and I want to say Happy Easter to you and your family. And I want to say that I agree totally with you, everything you're saying. We got to become strong again in this country. The problem was we became weak in this country. I noticed that out there, no one really wants to put forth the effort anymore to get strong. When we were young in the 70s and 80s, we were out there working every day and putting our hearts and souls out there, trying to make a living. Today, everybody's just lounging around, not having any direction. And that all goes back to our educational system. Our school teachers have to get more patriotic with their children here. This is the best country we ever had, and we got to pray for Donald Trump making the right decisions out there. I think he's doing the right thing, and I believe that we have to become strong again. I mean, I noticed I finished up a yard the other day, and this guy tried to give me an insult. He said, "Oh, you're not 19 anymore." He said, "You're probably going to go home and sleep." I said, "No, I'm going to go out and work." I still got more yards to go. I said, "What is this? Everyone thinks you do 1 yard and you stop." I mean, that's the problem. I mean, most men out there aren't getting up and working and putting forth the effort. I mean, we got to start thinking about getting strong again here in our country. That's what the problem is. We're not strong again. We become weak. This computer made us weak. When I look at, people lifting weights and everything else like that, most people don't even want to do that anymore. I mean, we have to become strong again in our country, our faith, and everything else like that. We have to become strong people again. We become weak, and that's what happened to us. That's the way I look at it, Bob.
You're absolutely right. Everybody just wants to bail. They don't want to actually stand up and fight or work or roll up their sleeves. I mean, look at how many lawn services we have, and you know all about that. I mean, back in the day, you didn't see lawn services because, hey, guess what? If you weren't cutting grass, one of the kids were cutting grass. That's just the way it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw a whole bunch of kids passing me by that easily could have come over and done the yards and stuff like that. Nope. They cannot be bothered, They think college is the way. No, college, we got to get college back out of it. We got to get back to the trades. We need people desperately in the trades. There's nobody out there. You call somebody to come work and they don't come. That's the problem we have. Teaching people, again, how to do physical labor, hard work. That's what we need in this country again. We need to be proud Americans again, instead of the soft people, which I see every day. Kids that can't even lift 50 pounds today. It's unreal on there.
When I started doing this talk thing on the weekends, and I've been doing it since we started at KDKA, most of the people that would call in were going to work or coming home from work or out like delivering the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Everybody was either on the job, headed to the job, or headed home. I mean, that's what it was. There was those manufacturing, those mill workers, those people that had to work, in some cases 2 jobs. Most people now that call me, thank goodness, a lot of them I've known forever, they're regulars. Many of them are retired now. So I'm telling you, I have seen it firsthand. People do not want to put in the time anymore. And how anybody could be saying, we just need to leave Iran right now. Well, I mean, with our tail between our legs, once again, we're going to let some little ragtag third world nation regime of thugs and criminals basically run us out because, they're shooting our jets down. We're supposed to run and hide. For that pilot that's on the ground right now, our job is to find out what happened to him and destroy whoever did what they did to him. That's what you do when you're an American. So other people don't do it to you.
Yes. That's what we have to do. We have to get back. I'm here. I'm working out while I'm talking to you, Rob. How many people out there at this age, at my age, out there working out? We got to get people back to working out and getting back to health. That's what we need in this country again. That's what we need. Again, that's what I firmly believe in. And go Bucks also. And I want to say thank you for everything you do, Rob. You know what I mean? You're on your radio station.
Well, I appreciate it. We do it together. 866-391-1020. First time this hour, some open lines. Your thoughts about the jet pilot that is now missing in Iran. What do? We cut bait or we actually stay the course? 866-391-1020. Here's Teddy up on Mount Washington. Hey, Ted.
What's going on, Rob?
It is a Saturday morning, another weekend. We're at it, and it's good to hear your voice.
Well, what we're having to what JFK said, ask not what you can do, what you can do with your country. Ask what you can do with your country. I totally screwed that up.
No, I know what you mean. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I've screwed it up a few times, too. Don't feel bad. Go ahead.
Well, look, I agree with you. It's a soft country, man. 12 people. I don't care if you're rich or poor. Everybody got their hands out. We need to commit and get rid of this regime. And on two phases. One, look, the president can't cut and run. He cannot cut and run. If we do, he is a taco. We can't check it out. Number two, like I said before, we need to get a coalition quick. You got boots on the ground, but doesn't always have to be us. And you're right. There's a lot of Arab countries there, and their butts are in trouble too. And when it comes to NATO, NATO can't have both ways. Can't have us in Ukraine want to help, and then turn your back when we're just asking just to use, just to use your airport or whatever. I just don't understand. You can't have both ways. So I agree with you. The president needs to step up, and we need to have ground troops and get rid of this regime, and also get that uranium, because we don't, Rob. This Iran, you talk about just being a bully. It's just going to dominate the Middle East and maybe even dominate the world.
I mean, what happened to this country that was full of courage and pride and patriotism? Right now, if this were 50 years ago, and I was there, 1976, every single day from now until July 4th was nothing but headlines of what was going to be happening to celebrate our 200th birthday. My goodness, if I don't bring it up, nobody would even talk about it.
Well, like I said before, it's like Archie Bunker didn't have a welfare state. Everyone had their hands out. Okay? This is not the greatest generation. This is just, just to hear some of the comments. I don't want to say horrible, but it's a soft generation. All the way around. I hate to say that. All the way around. I don't care if you have money. I don't care if you don't have money. The mentality is still the same. Give me, give me, give me. And we used to be a country you have to give back. I don't care if it's service or whatever, but everybody has that mentality. And you can't survive as a country if you got that kind of mentality. We were lucky to be born in a country which our ancestors fought for. And we have great institutions. We have a capitalist system. It may not be perfect. We still have the power to vote. And I applaud you what you said before. A lot of people complain less than 20% vote. You're 1,000% right. What other country can you go out and vote and actually change the government? The majority of people who complain don't even bother to get off their butt, just go down to the polls. I don't care if it's a local election. And when you said that, I applaud you, Rob, because you hit it right on the head. We take our country for granted.
But Ted, what is wrong with this country? You better wake up. Listen, because you and I, we're not going to be walking this planet 30 years from now, unless we're very fortunate and, we're drinking from the same glass as Clint Eastwood. It's not going to happen. We're not going to live to be 95 years old. They better get their act together. And I'd like to hear from young people today in their 30s and 20s. On the night show, I hear from them all the time. Somebody better start taking account of what's happening in the world right now, or our country is going to be invaded someday, if not blown to smithereens. If we cut bait and leave Iran now, every ragtag country is going to hold us hostage. Kim Jong-un is going to start threatening us. I'm telling you, we cannot walk away from this now. This pilot is the turning point. Today, game on. I would be steamrolling into that country, and I would destroy that regime by the end of the weekend. If we are the most powerful military in the world, there's no way boots on the ground they can stop us. All this back and forth with these drones. These are people that played Xbox and PlayStation growing up that are launching these missiles while they're hidden in some hole somewhere in a rabbit hole. End it. Get rid of this regime today and let the Iranian people do what they want. But do not let us cut bait and leave with our heads held low. I want us to be standing upright and saluting the flag. I'm tired of losing.
I agree with you. Regime change is regime change. You have to fully commit. And you do not reward a thug. Okay, that's what happened to Jimmy Carter. That's what happened to almost every other president. You just don't do it. Because what you're going to do is bolden our enemies around the world, right? And that's exactly what's going to happen. That exactly is happening. And like I said before, I wish Trump would reach out to our allies. I wish he would. there's a reason why we have NATO. World War II, we formed our bond with Europe. That, and like I said before, we need to reach out to them, and we need to define the mission. We need to prepare the country for blood and treasure. We need to go ahead and do this because, for one, like I said before, we don't know what's going on with that uranium. That's, to me, Rob, that's one of the biggest things. If that gets moved out the country, who knows? Or if we leave them alone, guess what? Another administration come in, and guess what? They got a bomb now. Now what you do? So I agree with you 2,000%. This needs to be done. We need to have the courage. We need to have the leadership. And we need to all make sacrifices. Who cares about gas? Okay? That is our worst day doesn't compare to what our ancestors had to go through. And that shows you how selfish we are. We worry about the littlest things, except our freedom.
What are we seriously? What are we waiting for here? How much more has to happen before there is no more? That should be the phrase. How much more has to happen before there is no more? The cupboards are bare. Wake up, America. Wake up.
Well, the only time we came together when 9/11 happened.
That was it.
I hate to say that.
But guess what? But guess what? That didn't finish the job until Barack Obama did what he did to Osama bin Laden. That's how long it took. This should not take that long. End it.
I agree with you, brother.
All right, man. Thanks, Teddy. End it. Anybody else? If you're young and you have children and you're getting ready to enjoy the 250th birthday of this country, do you know the sacrifices that were made so you could be in this position? Have you ever heard of Iwo Jima? Have you ever heard of Anzio? Have you ever heard of Pearl Harbor? Have you ever heard of Saigon? Have you ever heard, have you ever heard of the Taliban? Have you ever heard of any of this stuff? 866-391-1020. We'll be back.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKA-radio.com. News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Pirate shortstop Connor Griffin, Major League debut, first at bat, RBI double. Bucks go in to win 5-4 against Baltimore. And Mitch Keller gets the win. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 4:05 first pitch, 93-7 the Fan. NCAA Women's Final Four, it was South Carolina over UConn 62-48. And UCLA defeated Texas 51-44. Men's Final Four coming up. Today, it's Illinois, UConn, and Michigan and Arizona. Penn's Florida at 5 o'clock. Texas Open through 2 rounds. Robert McIntyre, 14 under with a 4-shot lead. And the Riverhounds will be on the pitch with a match against Indianapolis at 7 p.m. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Brian Schlaba here from the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, born and raised right here. Since 2015, we've helped over 1,000 Pittsburgh homeowners sell their houses quickly and without the stress. No repairs, cleanouts, inspections, or appraisals. We give fast and fair cash offers, buy your home as is, and you choose the closing day. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057. That's 412-500-9057.
Pittsburgh's local trusted homebuyer since 2015.
Support St. Anthony school programs and help students with special needs achieve their full potential through inclusive education, therapy sessions, and job skills development. Serving students ages 5 through 21 with Down syndrome, autism, and other intellectual disabilities. Find St. Anthony school programs within select Catholic schools in the Pittsburgh area, including a post-secondary program at Duquesne University. For over 70 years, they have empowered students of all faiths to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. Learn more or donate at stanthonykids.org.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
And I'll tell you what else frustrates me. Is this, Israel this, Israel that. We should be so thankful that we have them as an ally. Do you realize if we don't have them in the Middle East, we have nothing? And all of these countries will, with that blood money, their oil, will do everything to backdoor us, to basically surprise attack, whatever, destroy America. Don't you understand the reason why we are who we are? And so many people have really disdain for us is because they're jealous. They're jealous in 250 years, just shy a few months, that we've been able to do what we've been able to do, where many of them have been around for thousands of years and are still fighting. And if I hear one more person say they've been fighting in that part of the world, this is not the Iranian people. This is not a jihad. This is not a war with Israel. This is a war with us. We started it. We stood up and simply said, no more nuclear weapons. End it. We struck them in the summer. They continue to do it. We went in again after they slaughtered thousands of their own people who were simply protesting, we can't survive on what we're able to make in this country that has trillions of dollars every year being made in oil. But what do? They use it to make nuclear bombs and pay terrorists to commit ungodly acts around the world to take the attention off of them. I'm just going to say this to wrap up the hour. And if anybody wants to jump in, feel free. If not, that's okay. I can take it the rest of the way. I could care less. But if you're not willing to stand up for your country today and show your true colors of red, white, and blue, then really, do you deserve to be a part of this country? Do you deserve to have all of the gifts that this country has to offer? You know, and if you complain about this president, you have one of the greatest privileges in the world, as I do. You have a chance to vote for someone else. You have an opportunity to remove this person in the White House. But let me just say this. People before him, like the Honorable President, and I will always use that in front of every president, Joe Biden, who wrote a check, a blank check to that government, and they continue to threaten and do bodily harm with terrorism around the world. Hezbollah, just to name one, didn't stop him. It infuriated him even more by saying, you know what, let's go for it all, because you know what, every time we do something bad or make an idle threat, they just open up the checkbook. You know, it's kind of like somebody who's blackmailing you. You know as well as I do, once they have spent the initial check, they'll come back again and again and again. And they haven't done us any favors. And as far as this Strait of Hormuz, I would say, look, you got 24 hours. You better open it up. You better open it up. And if I would have to put boots on the ground to march right to there and take them out of that position of power, I would. And I would make sure that the oil is divided up equally. You know, the president said we don't need their oil. Well, you know what? If we've got people dying over there, and if they do something to this pilot, I say we take the oil and we distribute it equally to where everybody gets a slice of what they should be getting, including the Iranian people. We put them in a position to where they can benefit. Form an allegiance with them. Do you understand what people are frightened about here, especially this regime? If this thing ends with the United States declaring victory and this regime is gone, we've taken out 50 of their leaders. This is probably just a group of just ragtag wannabes who continue to launch these missiles and these drones. You know why they're doing it? They're doing it to get sympathy. And as far as these NATO countries, shame on them. Shame on them. They're showing their true colors. As far as I'm concerned, they're cowards. They're cowards. It's like Chamberlain, the Prime Minister of England, who met with Adolf Hitler in the late 30s and came back and went, there will be peace in our time. Yeah, he wanted peace, a piece of Poland, a piece of Yugoslavia, and it never ended. If you think that these people running the country of Iran are any different, you better wake up. They murdered 35,000 of their own people. And you realize what Hitler did? Those Jewish people were Germans. They were of that country. Their heritage, religious belief differently. Hitler didn't like it. And do you think that this government in Iran likes the people of Iran? They look down upon them as peasants, as wannabes, just a cog in the wheel. They don't care about them. They never have. I'm telling you right now, on this Holy Saturday, Passover continuing as well, if we do not get rid of this government, they will someday have the ability to kill us all. And then it'll be too late. It'll be too late. They will have the ability to annihilate the free world. No one can stop them. With the money that they will have, the ability to launch nuclear weapons, nobody will have a chance. We will have to basically bow to every one of their whims. And I don't know about you. Sooner or later, the bully has taken all your lunch money. And the thing you have to do if you want to eat, you got to fight back. You got to fight back. You got to know when to pick and choose. And I understand. I thought, okay, if the president's telling us the truth, no Navy, no Air Force, it's going to happen. You know, they're going to continue to fight a little bit longer. Now they want a ceasefire. But what happened with these jets and that one fighter pilot who was missing, again, if he turns up on any closed-circuit video, telecast, audio, and they're holding this person, torturing them or whatever, or threatening us, that's it. Game over. I don't care if we have to send 50,000 troops. And don't say, well, it's not you. If it could be, if I could turn back the hands of time and be 50 years younger, yes. But guess what? I'm not. It's the same thing that my dad said when he was in his 40s. If I could have fought in Vietnam, I would. Why are we in Vietnam? So I'm going to give you a chance to talk about this. If you really care about America, you'll talk about it. If you really care about our military, you'll talk about it. CBS Radio News has led with it. Biggest story right now on the planet because Russia's looking at us, China's looking at us, North Korea's looking at us, Latin America, those drug cartels are looking at us. Prime ministers, presidents from around the world are looking at us saying, well, what are they going to do now? They shot down 2 of their jets and there's 1 pilot missing. What are they going to do now? This 1 pilot missing should make a clear-cut statement to all of us in this country. We need to push back. Enough of walking away and letting things just drift away. Face it, fight it, defeat it, move on. 866-391-1020.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor. Very atypical with the NFL draft and all the things that are going on.
We're all excited. You know, it's coming fast. But we also want Pittsburghers, and I say this wherever I go, this is also your city. This is your draft. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming from across the country, but we want Pittsburghers to be ambassadors.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Suffering from peripheral neuropathy? Learn how over 15,000 sufferers regained their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State Neuropathy Center's successful treatment plan that is FDA cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free. Here's Sean Ritchie, DC, and Tri-State's founder about one of their many satisfied patients.
One thing I like about having the most effective treatment protocol on the market for peripheral neuropathy is the stories that we hear. Like Karen from Export. She suffered with neuropathy for 3 years, and it got so bad that she couldn't even wear her normal shoes. In fact, she got rid of them and can only wear Skechers. After going through the program, now she's able to wear any shoes she wants, and she's very disappointed that she got rid of all her other shoes.
Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Karen. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000 for an initial free consultation. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy. Learn more at marydanston.com.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to goodrx.com/weight-loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 61 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A Tesla caught fire in the parking garage of the Giant Eagle Market District store in Shadyside. Firefighters responded around 8 o'clock Friday night. Tesla was charging when the vehicle's battery caught on fire. That fire was quickly put out. No one was injured. No nearby cars or the building were harmed. But the store was evacuated and eventually closed for the night. The Market District in Shadyside expected to reopen on normal hours today. New details about a Ross Township man accused of buying hundreds of guns, later tied to crimes across multiple states. Benjamin Ford, according to KDKA-TV, is a battery foreman at U.S. Steel's Clairton plant. He's charged with 6 counts of illegally selling or transferring firearms. Investigators say he bought more than 200 guns between 2013 and 2024, with the bulk of them purchased since 2020. Investigators say 6 of those firearms were later recovered in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. Ford's attorney is Phil DeLucente.
When you have 200 guns that are registered to you, who knows what happened? It's not as if my client would take an inventory every morning of every single gun that might be available to him.
Ready to fish? Trout season in Pennsylvania opens today. If you're planning to participate, there are certain requirements for anglers.
Yep. If you're going to fish on the opening day of trout season or any time in Pennsylvania, you need to have a valid fishing license. And then if you'd like to fish for trout, you need to purchase a trout permit, which is an additional privilege, but that allows you to pursue and harvest trout throughout trout season.
That's Tim Schaefer, Executive Director of the Fish and Boat Commission. He says more information can be found at fishandboat.com. KDKA Radio News Time at 6:02. We have the AccuWeather forecast to start your weekend coming up.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Gusty showers and storms early this morning give way to periods of clouds and sun today and a very warm day with a high of 84, breaking the record of 83. But rain returns tonight with a gusty thunderstorm, the low 49, leading to a couple of morning showers early on Easter Sunday, then cloudy and cooler, high 53, with a shower Monday, high 53. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, Rob, before I get back to these busy phones, what a special day yesterday downtown. The city never looked better. And what a great curtain call I took, just seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in a while that have been fans of the Pirates since I was hosting Pirates Sunday for a decade. And yes, there for opening day 25 years ago. The city, it was a spectacular day yesterday, and Connor Griffin had an incredible day. RBI single, first time at bat. Last time a Major League player did that in his first at bat, Juan Soto, a couple of years ago. So nice day all the way around. Place was packed, and those orange cones were out in full force.
Hoist the cone. Yeah, I guess that's the new thing. Every time I see a cone now when I'm driving,
right,
I think about, should I go pick that up and like take a picture of it or something? Because, I think this is going to really catch on, and everybody's going to have the cones and the masks. So. Yeah, I loved it. I remember I actually drove down there numerous times. Saw there's like a big TV screen at the North Shore Plaza, the new North Shore Plaza right across the street from PNC Park. So a lot of people were out there during the game watching it on TV and checking out, getting some ice cream and everything. And then, drove past PNC Park. It was just packed right around maybe the sixth inning. I was on the Fort Duquesne Boulevard just looking across and just seeing it packed, and then you pull out the victory, and then Connor Griffin. It was just so wonderful for the city of Pittsburgh, and I think we actually have a team to be excited about right now.
I think we do. I really do. And I had Rich Donnelly on, former Pirate coach during the Jim Leland era. I had Jimmy Leland on. Bob Walk stopped by, and those guys always keep their cards close to their vest, but they kind of leaned in too about certain things that have to really go right. And since those couple of losses to the Mets, things have gone right. We won a game yesterday that normally the Pirates would not win, but they won yesterday, and Mitch Keller gets the win. And what I said yesterday, with the players that we have picked up, the thing that amazes me the most, that we still have Mitch Keller. I thought we'd have to trade him to get some of this talent, but this organization has found a way to bolster the lineup, and they kept Mitch Keller, who got the win and looked spectacular yesterday.
And, when you're the Pirates and, you get Paul Skeens, you have him, and then you get Connor Griffin, you have him,
right?
And you have O'Neal Cruz, you have him. These players basically coming up through your organization. Strike while the iron is hot, because the Pirates didn't have to have, these prospects. And then, sometimes you have prospects and sometimes they're average players. Sometimes they're just above the fold, but you got three players here who really are going to be basically stars. Now we know O'Neal Cruz, has his problems defensively, but he's going to get better in center field. But you can't make up for that power that he has and at the plates and the speed that he has. So, it seems like everything is starting to click for the Pirates. And remember, even though the Pirates lost 2 of 3 in New York to start the season, without those blunders in center field, Pirates probably could have won that game in New York on the opening day. So it could be, 5-2 instead of 4-3. But we'll take 4-3 right now.
Yeah, 405 today, 93.7 The Fan. O'Neal Cruz centered to single to center. Henry Davis is all in the bottom of the second. Henry Davis scored, then Henry Davis doubled to left field. Jared Torillo scored, and then Jared Torillo singled to right center, and Connor Griffin scored, and it all began with Griffin's double to deep center. Ryan O'Hearn scored. Man, just those names, O'Neal Cruz, Henry Davis, Connor Griffin, nice to have them into the mix, but those three players that we're counting on were responsible for those runs yesterday.
When Connor Griffin had his first plate appearance, I was in the car. I was in Bellevue listening to our sister station, 93.7 The Fan, and I went nuts in the car when Joe Block had that call, because Connor Griffin was down to 2 strikes, and then he swung, foul-tipped a pitch. I thought, okay, well, everybody's got a strikeout on their first at bat. And then when he hit that into the gap on the radio, I was in the car as well. It was about 4:50 or something like that.
So you mean to tell me when you were 19, you didn't start or end your day with a press conference?
No, I said yesterday to Larry Richard, when I was 19, I was oversleeping Ohio State classes. Never should I have a 7:30 class.
But you know what? He just handles himself like so much more mature than his age. And you know what? You can tell his whole life he's been dreaming to do this. And I'm sure he's been practicing these press conferences in his mind in his quiet time. And it really, he's polished all the way around. And I'm just so excited that he's here.
Yeah, it's and woo, is it going to be a near sellout today? 405. I mean,
listen, it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it should be. And one thing I have seen time and time again, no matter how tough it's gotten, the true Pirate fans, and there are many, stand by this club. And I was watching yesterday, I mean, young and not so young. I mean, people from all walks of life, people coming in from, places that, 100 miles, 200 miles, because they don't live close to the city anymore, or other states. Somebody actually flew in for it. They're diehard Pirate fans. And if anybody deserves a winning season, this fan base does.
Oh yeah, this is such a great sports city, and I remember going to Pirates games even last year, and the Pirates are maybe a couple games under 500. They pull out a victory, and fans are still going crazy. So imagine, you finally got a team to really cheer for, and they keep winning. Put it like this, Rob. I was in Cincinnati, or I was in Dayton, Ohio, watching the Cincinnati Reds. When I lived in Dayton, and in 2010, they finally had a good team, and at the end of April, they were about 5 or 6 games over 500, and you could start to feel that this could be the year, and that was the year they won the National League Central Division. So if the Pirates can end April, 5, 6, 7 games over 500, the city's going to think this is a real team, and you're going to see that PNC Park packed.
And rightfully so, man.
Right.
All right, so women's Final Four down to the Final Two. Dawn Staley giving Gina Uriema a piece of her mind. She's a tough cookie. Big win for them. They're moving on. And how about UCLA? The only loss they suffered this year was against Texas, and they beat them yesterday. I really like this UCLA team. This is going to be a good final tomorrow between these two schools.
Yeah, and what happened to your man Gino Auriemma? I mean, he was apparently mad because...
You know what he doesn't like, with all due respect? Just what he did to Pat Summitt. It's what you call changing of the guard, okay? Dawn Staley is the coolest coach on the planet, and she's got the biggest and baddest program on the planet right now. It is what it is.
It is what it is. He walked off the court.
Enough. I mean, come on.
By himself. I mean, come on.
But let me tell you something. She wasn't having any of it.
Yeah, she's from Philadelphia, so I've seen a number of her interviews, and she's not one to take anything.
I was on the treadmill today watching the highlights, and I saw her getting his grill. I had to change the channel. All right, now you got today's big game: Illinois, Connecticut, Michigan, Arizona. You got to believe Connecticut, but I'm still thinking Arizona. But more and more people are starting to buy into Michigan. How do you think this thing's going to unfold?
Woo! First of all, that game. That 8:49 game between Michigan and Arizona. Don't worry, that would not be a blowout. That's going to be a tough inside game. It's probably going to get a little chippy. It's going to go down to the wire. I think, though, that Arizona just has a little bit too much. I think if their talent level is just a little bit too much for Michigan. Michigan's very good, but I think Arizona is just going to eke it out. And then that first game, Illinois, UConn. For some reason, I just can't go past UConn. Dan Hurley has a pulse of what that team needs. And if Illinois doesn't come out really firing, you keep UConn in the game, I think UConn will pull it out. So I see UConn and Arizona in the final two.
If Dan Hurley wins it all for UConn, is he the best coach in college basketball right now?
Oh, absolutely. If he beats Illinois and then beats Arizona and or Michigan, absolutely best college basketball coach right now.
How about Billy Donovan? He told North Carolina, I'm not going to talk to anybody until the NBA season's over, April 12th. I owe that to the Chicago Bulls. And I guess North Carolina is basically opening the checkbook. They talked to the coach at Arizona. He said thanks, but no thanks. So what Rick Pitino said, I think it's true. These blue blood schools, they're not the driving force in college basketball anymore because of whatever, name, image, and likeness, transfer portal. It's a different playing field right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if I like how North Carolina got rid of Hubert Davis.
No, I think that was premature.
Yeah, I think I mean, I kind of want to say, who does North Carolina think they are?
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, right.
I mean, it's not like they were.
Who made you, Duke?
Yeah, I mean, they're not. I mean,
Michael Jordan graduated 40 years ago. He didn't even graduate 40 years ago. Come on now.
Yeah, I think Hubert Davis deserved at least another season, and in this whole college basketball climate of NIL, I mean, hey, maybe North Carolina, they get your money out and get some players, but I don't know if you can blame Hubert Davis over that. So I just didn't like the way they got rid of him.
In case anybody missed this, President Trump signed an executive order yesterday designed to give National Collegiate Athletic Associations more control over college sports. The president's order aims to increase the NCAA's control over college athletes and programs and threatens to review federal government grants and contracts for colleges who don't comply with the NCAA rules. All I can say, my opinion, this is Rob Pratt. Good luck with that. Look, I actually like what's happening in college sports right now. And I've never been really more excited about the women's championship tomorrow because I love the UCLA story. This will be the first championship in their history, and they've won a lot as far as on the men's hardwood. But I really like Dawn Staley. Fan of Gino Auriemma. Love him. But there's just something about Dawn Staley. She's a gamer, man.
Yeah, she really is. And I think they're going to win that championship over UCLA. UCLA, nice story. Their first ever appearance in the championship on the women's side, of course, for college basketball. But I think South Carolina will pull that out.
I picked Arizona to win it all, although I got to tell you, I like the Hurley family, and I like the way he coaches, too.
If it's UConn and Arizona Monday night and UConn wins that one, it's UConn is a team of destiny, a program of destiny over the past 3, 4, 5 years.
There he is, Rob Taylor, New Pittsburgh Courier. Real quick, what's going on in the Courier?
Oh, let's see.
You getting ready for the draft?
Oh yeah, we're going to be doing a very big piece on Bill Nunn,
nice,
the former managing editor, sports editor of the Pittsburgh Courier, who, of course, knew all the black college football players and had a banquet and an All-American team back in the '60s. Brought the best black college football players from those black schools up to Pittsburgh, and he knew all of them, and that's how he got connected with the Pittsburgh Steelers as a scout. Brought John Stallworth in from Alabama A&M and other black players like Mel Blount, and of course the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
And Steelers winning those Super Bowls and Bill Nunn in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So we're going to be doing a big spread on him so that all the out-of-towners coming in will be able to get the paper and know that
let's just be honest. That's the reason we got 4 Super Bowl titles in the 70s.
Yes,
Make no mistake about it. Bill Nunn. New Pittsburgh Courier, also available at Beulah Road, where I spent some time this past week. Great store, Coons Market and Highwood Street. That's Rob Taylor. Thank you, Rob.
Yep.
All right, short break. We'll come back. Let's get to your calls moments away. Your Pratt Pack. KDK, good morning.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Pirate shortstop Connor Griffin, Major League debut, first at bat, RBI double. Bucks go in to win 5-4 against Baltimore. And Mitch Keller against the win. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 4:05 first pitch, 93-7 the Fan. NCAA Women's Final Four, it was South Carolina over UConn 62-48. And UCLA defeated Texas 51-44. Men's Final Four coming up. Today, it's Illinois, UConn, and Michigan and Arizona. Penn's Florida at 5 o'clock. Texas Open through 2 rounds. Robert McIntyre 14 under with a 4-shot lead. And the Riverhounds will be on the pitch with a match against Indianapolis at 7 p.m. More sports at 937thefan.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Tune in this Sunday morning at 8 for the Coons Cooking Hour with Rob Pratt and the Coons Market team when they discuss Easter traditions and ham and lamb recipes. It's the Coons Cooking Hour, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, back to the phones. Busy couple of hours. We're in open talk until 7. Then we get to our Pittsburgh Works programming. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Right now, let's head out to Oakland and say good morning to Anthony. Anthony, welcome to KDKA.
Well, Rob, let's do a little historic look at what's going on in the Middle East. This isn't new. And, that country, Persia, went from a democracy that the CIA and the British intelligence helped to overthrow. And you've had chaos ever since when they installed the Shah, who was a dictator murderer. And he brutalized his people. He killed just as many people as the what's happened with the clerics that they got over there now killing. I mean, that's been their history. But I mean, so you get on here, you guys are yapping about Persia. It's not regime change. And going in there to find our pilot. How do you think they got the expertise to knock down our planes in the first place? From the Russians. The Russians are supplying them intelligence to do what they're doing. Do you hear Trump telling Putin, stop it? You hear him say, why are you giving them drones? Why are you helping them with intelligence to shoot down our planes? You hear him say anything about Russia? No. What he's done for Russia is got rid of the sanctions so they can sell more oil. So you guys get on here and you start just throwing out things. We need to change the regime. We haven't even been able to change the regime 70 miles off our coast in Cuba in 70 years. Don't let you think you're going to go over to some other country and change their regime. But you couldn't even change Fidel forever. You guys got to think before you just espouse a bunch of wacko stuff out here. I mean, this is just, Rob, Persia is not going to give up their nuclear ambitions. They're just not ever going to. And here's why. Because the Ukrainians were talked in by the United States to give up their nuclear ambitions in the 90s by Clinton under the auspice that you'll have security guarantees. And they did it. Okay? And what's happening to them now? What's happening to them now? They have no way to deter the Russians because they were talked into giving up their ambition by the United States. And where's the security guarantees? There's not there. So the North Korean Kim Jong-un, he's sitting there watching it. He's not going to give up his nuclear ambitions ever either. Nor should he. Because why? Because Gaddafi was talked in by the United States and the Europeans. I'll give up your nuclear ambitions. Your country's doing well. You're not a terrorist anymore. We'll be fine. What happened? Regime change. What do you got over there now? The country's being run by terrorists. Terrorists are running Libya. So, I mean, these folks, just be calm, okay? If the pilot was shot down, hopefully you have some good people in Persia who will hold them in until the beepers can be located and get him out. If not, that's the sacrifices of war, man. When you go into somebody else's country, they're going to shoot back at you also. But he, listen to the Trumpster. He says it's going to be a walk in the park. Oh, we'll just go in there. We'll just walk right through. Yeah, hey, that ain't going to be so easy. These people have been training since the 70s to fight. So they can, I understand you guys sitting there listening that we'll just go take their oil. Gas is going to be up to $6 before you know it. Pretty soon we're going to have even and odd again, like we did in the 70s. So all you rally around the boy, you guys are always talking about war, Trump and all these others. I don't see nobody. So thank God my sons are too old to go in, but I hear all you guys who have sons of military age. I don't hear y'all talking about your sons going in. I don't hear nobody talking about let your grandsons and their sons go in. I don't hear none of y'all who always want to talk about war. Thanks.
All right. Appreciate it, Anthony. Look, if I disagree with somebody, I just sit back because we're not going to get into a shouting match, okay? I wouldn't do that and waste your time or my time. You know how I feel. But I really want to see the pulse, and I believe that we can overtake. And I agree with him on the Shah. He was no good either. But maybe it's a little bit different now, and maybe because we've let this stuff go on a long time, it's because we haven't had a president like Donald Trump with the backbone that he has. I don't think you understand. Sooner or later, you can't be worried about where the price of gas is going to go. We need to start utilizing what resources we have in this country. And we have an abundance of natural gas that literally is larger than any of these countries have in the way of oil reserves. Iran, Saudi Arabia, any of them. And we have enough oil resources. If you remember, we started here long before they started there. They had no idea what they had. We opened that first oil drilling site hundreds of years ago. We started. I mean, George Westinghouse had a natural gas well on his property. It is time for us to start to utilize the natural gas and use it as the tipping point to give us the energy independence that we need. And more importantly, if they want it, they will come to us. We basically gave them the idea, helped them create these places like Dubai and Saudi Arabia and Tehran. And guess what they have done? They've used our ingenuity against us. And now they continue to hold us hostage. It's over. And if you look at the sheer numbers, even with these two jets going down, we are still lapping them as far as this war is concerned. But the gall, the outright gall and horror of what they continue to do, they are putting their people in harm's way. Sadly, if innocent people get killed as they do in war, it's that regime. If I'm the Iranian people, I storm the place that they call their headquarters, and I remove them myself. Is it a witch hunt? Call it whatever you want. But they're the ones responsible for Iranian people dying, not our military, because they understand this thing with President Trump, who he is, up until he leaves office, this won't stop. And there will be nothing. They will be decimated. So if I'm the Iranian people, I have that regime in my crosshairs, not the United States of America. 866-391-1020.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Well, join Kurt Kanodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group for your retirement blueprint. Let Kurt and Ethan help you plan for your retirement dreams. Don't miss your retirement blueprint Sundays at 10. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
Y108 presents Odyssey, The Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean.
Hey, what's up, Pittsburgh? I'm Jason Aldean.
With special guests John Morgan and Shane Prophet. Wednesday, April 22nd, inside the Event Center at Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh.
Y'all say we have a little bit of fun. Y'all ready?
You can't buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Full details at y108.com. Presented by Miller Lite and brought to you by your local AAA travel office, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, Ross Park Mall, and Broken Bow Records.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 61 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A Tesla caught fire in the parking garage of the Giant Eagle Market District store in Shadyside. This happened Friday night around 8 o'clock. Firefighters responding to it. Tesla was charging when the vehicle's battery caught on fire. Fire was quickly put out. No one was injured. No nearby cars or the building were harmed, but the store was evacuated and eventually closed for the night out of an abundance of caution. Market District expected to reopen on normal hours today. Police in Ingram trying to figure out who's responsible for breaking into and damaging several cars. The incidents happened on West Prospect Avenue, Chartiers Place, and Knoll Avenue. Police are asking anyone with security cameras in the area to contact Ingram Police. Well, police in Braddock charging 3 adults and 1 minor after a drug and gun bust. Search warrant was executed at a home on Corey Avenue, and that's where police found fentanyl, a handgun with a Glock switch, along with multiple magazines, along with firearm accessories. Those charged are adults Jawan Coachman, Nathaniel Scott, and Nakia Enoch, along with an unnamed minor. Go fish! Statewide trout season opens today, beginning at 8 o'clock this morning. Tim Schaefer, Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, says they'll stock about 3.2 million adult trout in 684 streams and 130 lakes open to public angling.
And we stock all those fish both pre-season and in-season. We'd like to remind anglers that opening day really is just opening day. It's the first day of trout season, and we stock throughout the spring, and we welcome anglers to help us put the fish in the water. If anybody would like to join in one of our trout stockings, just check out fishandboat.com, and you'll see the locations of where they all are, and happy to have them join us.
Anglers who plan to fish from a boat, canoe, or kayak, or paddleboard must wear a life jacket through April 30th. KDKA Radio News Time, 6:32. AccuWeather forecast next.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to GoodRx.com/weight loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Hey, folks, my friends at NASCO Roofing take pride in exceeding customer expectations. Scott from Aspinwall was amazed at NASCO's quality, honesty, work ethic, and superior craftsmanship. Scott loved working with NASCO and appreciated that NASCO doesn't use high-pressure sales tactics like other companies. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Scott. Get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Early morning showers and storms give way to clouds and sun today with a high of 84. That would break the record of 83. Rain returns for tonight, some of it heavy with a gusty thunderstorm, the low 49. Then Easter Sunday starts with a couple of showers, then cloudy and cooler, high 53, with a mix of clouds and sun Monday and another shower, high 53. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, back to it on Monday. Having a great weekend. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6. I'll catch you on Monday right here, KDK.
All right, busy day today. It's time to say hi to Jane in Squirrel Hill. Jane, how are you? And good morning. Welcome to KDKA.
Good morning, Rob, and happy Easter.
Thank you.
I'm calling you for a number of reasons. Number one, I want to say that I do support President Trump, and I have the utmost faith in Pete Hegseth and General Kane. I think that they know exactly what they're doing. I don't like the idea of ground troops. And I read someone said online, a very influential podcaster, that the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman, they all have military. Put their military on the ground. They've been attacked. Let's put them in first. This is their home. I agree with that, okay? Before we put our men and women in harm's way, let's get those people in there because they have more skin in the game than we do. That's number one. Number two, what will we do if this is a female pilot? You know, we're all thinking pilot. Oh, man, this could be a woman. She could be brutally raped, but we don't know yet. Number two, I want to say someone talked about people defecating on the streets downtown. I have a daughter who lives in California, and I was out there, and I encountered this. My children have told me that usually it has to do, they have a term for it. I forget exactly what it is. It's like a cocaine load or something like that. It's drug addiction, okay? Most of these people who live on the street are addicted to drugs, and the drugs produce that urgent need to defecate. We have to do something about drug addiction and get the addicts off the street. End of discussion. We have these politicians who talk about it. All these politicians talk more than they act. And it has to come from the people. The people must get out there and say, we want a cleaner, safer town. Everywhere. Like Joanne said, it's everywhere. And it's true. It's everywhere. It's a community effort. I don't care how we support the effort, but all of us, we either finance it, we get involved in the groups to get these people into treatment and help to produce some sort of structure where they can all go and get the kind of treatment they need. Those are my 2 points.
All right, by the way, I just want to share this with you, just so we're on the same page. Fox News was told that both crew members aboard the downed F-15E Strike Eagle are male. So we will wait and see, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Okay. But there are a lot of women flying aircraft.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree.
And there are women on the ground and in support capacities. But in any event, I don't support sending our people into Iran. Let the other nations go first. I mean, Israel has no problem defending itself. And I think that Israel said they're not sending in any ground troops. But I do believe the Arab states need to defend themselves. And as far as the Strait of Hormuz is concerned, I think Trump is right. Trump said, hey, we don't need that oil. We have enough oil of our own. You go over and you make it right, meaning China. I mean, some of the first tankers who came through there went to China. And now they're saying that, you know, if you want to go through, you have to finance your passage with the yuan. This is a direct attempt to undermine the United States. But I think those weaklings in Western Europe, France, United Kingdom, Germany, all of them, we owe them nothing. We have come to their aid twice. We've lost hundreds of thousands of our people defending them. They're feckless, and you can't trust them, and they don't pay. And Donald Trump is right.
Listen,
time that we focused on this country,
no more,
our future, and our safety.
You're right. Listen, we should be all in. You know, we let so much get away at the end of World War II. We've never been able to recoup that. It's caused us nothing but trouble. Up until the wall came down, and it still hasn't been a friendly environment for us in that part of the world. So you know what? Circle the wagons, worry about home, family, backyard, forget everyone else, because the NATO countries have shown their true colors. End of story.
Okay. Here's the other thing, birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court is arguing that case. Do you believe that two illegal aliens having a child on this soil, the child becomes a naturalized citizen, automatic citizen of the United States? No, I don't believe in that. Because you see what just happened at CENTCOM? They arrested the two boys, young men, who were about to bomb. They were both born from illegal aliens in this country. They were Chinese nationals, essentially, their parents. We have an entire birthright industry coming out of China. They're flying people into California. They're delivering their babies on U.S. soil, producing a U.S. citizen, and then going back to China so that China has a foothold in this country. Justice Alito is right, and America better wake up. We have people coming here. I mean, we have people coming here getting on benefits, getting more benefits than the American citizens who are on benefits. There's something wrong about that. And at every point, our enemies are working within this country to undermine our system because we are good and generous people. We're not evil. And we're being taken to task for it. Everybody should wake up.
But why aren't we waking up? What is wrong with people? I mean,
I think, oh gosh, if I say what I say, people are going to say she's a Nazi. But I'm worried about the state of the American woman. Most of the people who hate Donald Trump are female. Most of the people who teach are female. And it's in the school system where we're getting this undermining of America. I don't know. It's sort of, they hate everything. I said to my husband, I just don't understand this.
It's sad. I mean, I'm not basically agreeing with you on what you're saying, but it's just sad what I see, the lack of patriotism in this country. That's what frightens me and bothers me. I mean,
well, everybody thinks that they deserve everything. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. Even if you go to work every day and you work 35 hours a day, you know, that's impossible. But some people are luckier than others. Some people have more advantages than others. We just have to thank our lucky stars that we all live in a free country, and nobody should be hungry in this country. Nobody should be unhoused in this country. We have an abundance here, and we should take care of our own.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what we did when we were growing up? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Isn't that, you take care of the elders? We don't even take care of our elders anymore in this country. I mean, it's
because it keeps us from going to the baseball game. Everybody wants to have a good time. Nobody wants to put the effort in. And I've seen it time and time again. People change the ownership of their house in order to go into a facility that they don't have to pay for because they don't have any assets. The whole system is aligned so that people can just put their old people away and not worry about it. You don't like your kid? Divorce your husband and leave your kid with him. It's just sick.
Listen, I always appreciate your candor. Have a wonderful holiday, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right. We got Rich, we got Will, we got Joe. We got lots of stuff coming up this weekend. Dina Schmidt, Michael Coleman, One Health Benefits, and going to talk about her passion and why every case she takes personal and how I've seen her go above and beyond. But I'm going to focus on what really frightens people when it comes to Medicare. And I'm going to let you hear her passion and her expertise on how she can help. That's coming up next hour, along with her partner, Michael Coleman. You don't want to miss that. 8 o'clock, we're going to be opening the phones up this holiday weekend to give you a chance to get all of your financial questions answered. So if you got questions about annuities, your 401k, certain stocks, whatever, Secure Money Advisors coming up today. You don't want to miss that. Now, what else is happening today? 9 o'clock, it's MediConnect, the Inside Connection. 10 o'clock, the guys from True Value. Andy is off, but I know Mike will be here. I think Ed's going to be here as well, too. Maybe Paul. 11 o'clock, Andrew Benacki. And then we're going to be talking about my favorite spot up on Mount Washington, the Lamont. Boy, do they have some special things planned for the upcoming big football week that we're going to be having in this city. Also, an incredible summer menu. There is not a better venue anywhere in Pittsburgh, in my opinion. Been there many times. It's still 5-star, still the best, and still with the best view in Pittsburgh. So, busy day. Don't touch that dial. Back with more in a moment.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. And brought to you by Butler Transit Authority. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. News Radio. KDKA. Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Pirates shortstop Connor Griffin, Major League debut, first at bat, RBI double. Bucks go in to win 5-4 against Baltimore. And Mitch Keller gets the win. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 4:05 first pitch, 93-7 the Fan. NCAA Women's Final Four, it was South Carolina over UConn 62-48. And UCLA defeated Texas 51-44. Men's Final Four coming up. Today, it's Illinois, UConn, and Michigan and Arizona. Penn's Florida at 5 o'clock. Texas Open through 2 rounds. Robert McIntyre, 14 under with a 4-shot lead. And the Riverhounds will be on the pitch with a match against Indianapolis at 7 p.m. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Time to bring some fresh colors to your home. Call Serta Pro Painters. Hi, this is Larry Richard. Indoors, outdoors, get the quality job you want at a price you'll appreciate with a detailed estimate. And each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. So schedule your pre-estimate online at CertaPro.com, that's Serta with a C, and take advantage of the spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th. That's Serta Pro Painters.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
When you're handling an estate or an inherited home, the decisions can feel overwhelming. At Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, we help families through this every single week. We make a quick, fair cash offer on the home, coordinate any cleanouts, help you through the process, and we'll buy it in its current condition. No pressure, no surprises. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057 for help selling today. That's 412-500-9057. 9057 for help selling today.
Homebuyers of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's local trusted homebuyer since 2015.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series at Heinz Hall, presented by University of Pittsburgh, announces its 26-27 season. 7 evenings to deepen your understanding of the world around you, featuring Anderson Cooper, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, historian Anne Applebaum, financial journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin, and former NASA Administrator Charles Bolden. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Dana Schmidt, Michael Coleman, One Health Benefits. Next hour, we will be taking your phone calls, too. Here's Rich, Jefferson Hills on KDK with your Pratt Pack. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Rob. First of all, happy Easter to you and everybody working there, your family, your grandchildren, everybody involved at KDKA. And remember, Easter's about Jesus, not the bunny rabbit.
Fair enough.
And also, I want to chime in that, I don't want to. Everybody that's been on so far, I've been agreeing with to certain degrees. I pray to God that both of those pilots, the Don planes, are safe. One of them is so far. We don't know what happened to that person. The other person they're still searching for. Hopefully they will find that person. And you know what? If it wasn't for President Trump, and I don't want to get into politics, but you know what? Thank the good Lord that he has backbone and steps up to the plate and is doing what should have been done years ago by former presidents. And I grew up in Swissville. Everybody down there was Democrats, the whole 9 yards. But Trump has taken the reins. He said what he was going to do. No matter what he does, they criticize him. I don't care about the price of gas. It's going to come down. Stock market's going to level out. It's going to make people money again. The bottom line is he said he's going to do things. He's doing it. Why do they criticize him? Why do they dislike him so much? Because they can't control him is what it is.
Yeah, and they won't control him. He'll ride out. He'll ride out just the way he rode in. And listen, if this president and this administration doesn't end this regime in Iran, we will be playing this yo-yo game with pricing when it comes to what it is at the pump for the rest of our time on this earth and probably our children and grandchildren. The buck stops here. It has to end now. I hope that he finishes the job, and if it means boots on the ground, so be it.
Amen to that, Rob. And, one other thing I got to ask you. This was weeks ago. Mary Ars, where is she singing at? She got something coming up, doesn't she?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's been so long.
I'm going to try to. It's been so long, yeah. Okay, then. But anyway, God bless you, brother, and happy Easter.
All right, my man. I'm trying to think about what I did yesterday. That was exhausting enough. Here's Will in McDonald. Will, you're on KDK with your Pratt Pack. How you doing, Will?
Good morning there. How you doing today?
Excellent, sir.
I got so many things to say, I probably could go on for an hour, but you probably pull the plug on me after about 5 minutes anyway. But this country is going to hell with a handbasket. It really is. Instead of worrying about what wine you're going to drink tonight or what street you're going to close down for the draft, we got one major problem. It's called Iran. We need to take these hoodlums off the street that we have here. If they want to kill somebody, put them over there, let them kill a terrorist. This country is in a bad way right now. There's no more drafts, so our youth knows no respect. They know no job ethics, nothing whatsoever. They're running wild. And the schools, they're not allowed to teach the kids anymore. Half of these kids don't know how to read or write anymore. I just can't see what they're doing. Everybody complains about what Trump's doing. Well, he's the only president that's ever done anything. So that's why they complain about him. If you don't do nothing, there's nothing to complain about. This is unbelievable. Right now we have one major problem. And it's called Iran. We need to go over there and make an ashtray out of that place. If they want a nuclear weapon, I'd give them a nuclear weapon.
I got to go to a break. I appreciate it. Let's see if we can get Joe here real quick. Joe, you're on KDK. Go.
Yeah, well, the way I feel is Anthony hit the nail on the head. And just because he raised his voice didn't make him yelling match. All right, that's number one. Okay, Donald Trump is incompetent and corrupt at the same time. Now, that's documented. The guy from Canada wrote a book about his 20,000 lives, the first election. Donald Trump got rich. This is his TV show.
All right, I got to get to a break. I appreciate it, Joe, and I give everybody an opportunity to speak their mind. That's what I do, and that's my claim to fame, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, listen, News 7, then it's Dina Schmidt, Michael Coleman. You're going to find out what passion is all about, how she takes on every single client as a family member, individual responsibility, what they're dealing with, their biggest fears, and what fears you the most when it comes to Medicare. We'll answer your questions, too. If you want to get online now, feel free. If not, we've got a lot to talk about with Dina and Michael. That's moments away on KDK, your Pratt Pack. 866-391-1020. Good morning.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor, very atypical with the NFL draft and all the things that are going on.
We're all excited. It's coming fast. But we also want Pittsburghers, and I say this wherever I go, this is also your city, this is your draft. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming from across the country, but we want Pittsburghers to be ambassadors.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Hi, Paul Alexander here to let you know that KDK has planned a fabulous 5-day Arizona getaway this September, and it's filling up fast. My wife, Shelley, and I want you to join us for an unforgettable trip based in beautiful Flagstaff, a relaxed mountain town that makes the perfect home base. From there, we'll explore the incredible red rocks of Sedona, travel by rail to the breathtaking Grand Canyon, a bucket list spot that everyone needs to see at least once. And then we'll take in the stunning scenery around Lake Powell with its deep blue water and wide open views. It's the perfect mix of sightseeing, natural beauty, and plenty of time to just enjoy where we are. And September is truly the sweet spot. Comfortable weather, no summer crowds, and everything planned for you. No guessing, no stress. Just show up and enjoy Arizona. Space is limited. Seats are disappearing quickly. Visit travelwithkdk.com or call 800-383-3131. Again, travel with KDK.com or call 800-383-3131. Can't wait to see you there.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a Best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work.
EasyCater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met EasyCater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with EasyCater. Start an order at EasyCater.com.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 61 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. New details now about a Ross Township man accused of buying hundreds of guns, later tied to crimes across multiple states. Benjamin Ford is a battery foreman at U.S. Steel's Clairton plant, according to KDKA-TV. He's now charged with 6 counts of illegally selling or transferring firearms. Investigators say he bought more than 200 guns between 2013 and 2024, with the bulk of them purchased since 2020. Investigators say 6 of those firearms were later recovered in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. Ford's attorney, Phil DeLucente.
When you have 200 guns that are registered to you, who knows what happened? It's not as if my client would take an inventory every morning of every single gun that might be available to him.
Ford now facing multiple felony charges. Police in Braddock charging 3 adults and 1 minor after a drug and gun bust. A search warrant was executed at a home on Corey Avenue. That's where police found fentanyl, a handgun with a Glock switch and multiple magazines, along with firearm accessories. Those charged are adults Juwan Coachman, Nathaniel Scott, and Nakia Enoch, along with an unnamed minor. Well, trout season in Pennsylvania opens today. Tim Schaefer, executive director of the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, tells us there will be plenty of fish in the streams and lakes this season.
We'll be stocking, well over 4.3 million trout into the waters of Pennsylvania for this trout season, and that complements, the thousands of miles of great wild trout streams that we have. We really have something for everybody.
He says during the regular trout season that starts at 8 o'clock today through Labor Day, anglers may keep up to 5 trout per day, measuring at least 7 inches long. Well, a Tesla caught fire in the parking garage of the Giant Eagle Market District in Shadyside Friday night. Happened around 8 o'clock. Tesla was charging when the vehicle's battery caught on fire. Fire was put out. No one was injured. No nearby cars. The building was not harmed. Store was evacuated and eventually closed for the night. Market District expected to reopen today on normal hours. KDK Radio News Time at 7:02. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work, and they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Gusty showers and storms early this morning give way to periods of clouds and sun today and a very warm day with a high of 84, breaking the record of 83. But rain returns tonight with a gusty thunderstorm, the low 49, leading to a couple of morning showers early on Easter Sunday, then cloudy and cooler, high 53, with a shower Monday, high 53. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Senior Vice President Market Manager Michael Spacciapoli.
Every week, I deliver an editorial message addressing issues of importance to the community. But this one is different. It's personal. It is a tribute to one of the greatest men I have ever known, Gary Kenneth Bowser. An icon in the automotive business, Gary died last weekend at the age of 81. He founded Bowser Automotive in 1983, and the wildly successful business grew to employ over 450 people and become one of the largest and most well-respected auto groups in the Pittsburgh area. Besides building a business from the ground up, Gary Bowser was an incredible family man who married his high school sweetheart, Barb. He lived a life of community service, especially in support of the Stanley M. Marks Blood Cancer Research Fund. Personally, Mr. B treated my wife and kids like his own family at every turn and in every moment of our lives. We will miss him more than words can ever express. Pittsburgh has lost a once-in-a-lifetime guy who will never be forgotten. And so, to his family, Barb, Gary Jr., Kurt, and all his grandchildren, we send our love and thanks for sharing him with all of us.
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Senior Vice President Market Manager Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
The following is paid for by One Health Benefits. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. KDKA Radio does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is so good to have Dina Schmidt, Michael Coleman, One Health Benefits here today. And as I've been telling you all morning, passion is her middle name. Tailor-make everything that you need for you as an individual, treating you like friend, family, colleague, making you understand someone is in your corner. So doing a little bit of homework throughout all the things that I've been doing over the last 48 to 72 hours, I started thinking about Medicare benefits, commonly face like several concerns regarding their health coverage, including high out-of-pocket cost, lack of long-term care coverage, and the absence of routine dental, vision, and hearing services under Medicare, right? Well, you have come to the right place today. If you fear any of that or you have some concerns, this is the person, these are the people, and this is the company, One Health Benefits, who can put your mind at ease, and they will talk to you heart to heart, eye to eye, nose to nose, and let you know that the passion they have to get it done right for you the first time is what this company was built on when Dina started it years ago. So if you're out there and you have any concerns about your current Medicare coverage and you want answers or health care coverage in general, our number, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. Dina, Michael, good to have you back. Dina, we begin with you. And you do take on these clients like they are family because you have seen it firsthand. And we've all at one time or another live in fear when it comes to our health care coverage. And it's your job to put their mind at ease and to give them the coverage they need. Good morning.
Good morning. Boy, does anybody do it better than Rob Pratt? I tell you what, that's quite an introduction. Rob definitely knows his stuff, and so happy to be here once again this week. And, I really would love today for anybody who thinks they have a question and may say, yeah, that's a dumb question, because as you know, there's no dumb question, but everyone else, I'm sure, is thinking the same thing you are. And it'd be wonderful when people call in. I think that is the best because we're here to help you. We're here to answer those questions, and that is what helps everyone else because I'm sure they have the same thing, the same question. And thanks for the introduction. I totally agree. There's just something about helping people with health insurance. It's just so personal, and it's definitely where I love to be in this realm. I love to be able to help people with questions that are as important as these are life-saving things. Your health insurance is the most important thing you'll ever purchase, and this isn't a decision to be taken lightly. And, this is how I got into this industry 20-some years ago, is my husband came home, and he actually worked for the carriers, and he came home and he said, Dina, people are calling my office all the time, individuals who don't know where to go when they lose their job, or, people who are 1099ers who don't get insurance offered at work. No one knows where to go, and there's no one out there who offers that. And that is when he said, why don't you get your license? And I said, okay. So I went and got my license, and 3 months later, it's been history since then, and things have been wonderful. So feel very blessed to be able to help everyone here in Pittsburgh. So I do ask, if you have a question, please call in today because I know other people have the same questions.
So I'm in the dentist chair the other day trying to talk with Novocaine, which is pretty difficult, but I had a question.
Spit all over the place?
Yes, exactly. I had my dentist, who is very well known. His son is now involved in his practice, and he kind of said to me, he said, Rob, I hear you with this Dina Schmidt talking Medicare. All I want, and this is a guy who's been very successful because of a lot of hard work and now passing it on to the next generation. He has one daughter who's a physician, one who's a physical therapist, so he and his wife have done incredible by their children. But even he, in his position after hard work, financially sound, practice, great reputation, he says, I hear you with Dina Schmidt, One Health Benefits. I just want good health care. So what did I do? Here's her number. Here's how you can get hold of her. But even someone who you would think has it all they really want, Dina, they want good health care coverage, and that's what you try to achieve. And more times than not, if there's a way, you get it done. But everybody wants the same thing when it comes to Medicare. We just want good coverage, right?
Exactly, and I don't care how much money you have. I think I've told this story before, but we met with our financial planners this year, and, they give you a percent chance whether you'll outlive the money you saved, whether you'll outlive it. So they come back to you and say, we found there's a 95% chance based on everything we have here of all of your savings, whether you're going to outlive your money. And it was good news. I wasn't going to outlive my money, which is good, and I plan on spending every single penny. But
good.
They said, however, and I'm sure because you sell health insurance, the only thing that can change this is if you have something happen to you and you need home health care, or you need skilled nursing, or you need long-term care. Because what people don't understand is that health insurance card, doesn't cover everything when you get sick. Here's an example. I have a client who it's like ALS, but it's not ALS, but it's very similar. Unfortunately, the difference is you don't die as quick, but it's a slower death. And they have this, and they're young, and every time I talk to them, she's losing something, one of the ADLs, everyday daily living tasks, like walking, eating, toiletrying, bathing. And I had them on a policy where once the doctor said they needed help with 2 of the ADLs, everyday living things, there's 11 of them, I think. I may be wrong there, but around 11. And then the policy goes into effect, and it pays them $6,000 a month. Now, what is that money for? Something you can't use your health insurance card for. They built an addition onto the home so that the bedroom, because the bedroom happened to be upstairs, so that the bedroom was downstairs. They used that money to have a private nurse come in because they, it sucks everything out of the spouse to come in and have to take care of somebody. And that policy, they bought it when they were young. It was like $100 a month, and now it's worth billions to them because now they have the resources. You can't use your insurance card and say, hey, health insurance company, will you help make my house accommodate a wheelchair? Or, I can't go shopping and get the food and clean the house because I'm taking care of my spouse. Health insurance, will you take care of that? No. So I ask everyone out there, please think about that. Do you have a plan in place? Because before you know it, it can happen to you. It happened to my family. And you know what? My parents are one of the most 2 wonderful people in the world. I actually had a client who called in who was so panicked because they just got diagnosed with Parkinson's. And I went through this with my dad 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we almost lost my dad because he was misdiagnosed. And everything she's saying, I'm listening and going, oh, my God, we were here 3 years ago. I get my mom on the phone. They talk for over an hour. I mean, that just doesn't happen anywhere.
Now, listen, I got to get to a break, but this is what separates you from everyone else. It's the reason why I'm telling this dentist, call Dina. Look, we have a lot to get to this hour, but the things that keep you up at night, those things that make, you fearful, call us. We want to ease your mind today. Don't miss this opportunity. Number to dial is 866-391-1020. And number 1 on my top 10 when we come back, I'm going to talk about out-of-pocket cost and how many people put off stuff that they need to get done because of the fear factor. Dina will help you. Michael will help you. One Health Benefits, onehealthbenefits.com. Number at the office, 724-799-8873. You don't want to leave earshot of the radio. We have a lot more good stuff to come. OneHealthBenefits.com, 724-799-8873. Back in a moment.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Pirate shortstop Connor Griffin, Major League debut, first at bat, RBI double. Bucks go in to win 5-4 against Baltimore. And Mitch Keller gets the win. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 4:05 first pitch. 93-7 the Fan. NCAA Women's Final Four, it was South Carolina over UConn 62-48. And UCLA defeated Texas 51-44. Men's Final Four coming up. Today, it's Illinois, UConn, and Michigan and Arizona. Penn's Florida at 5 o'clock. Texas Open through 2 rounds. Robert McIntyre, 14 under with a 4-shot lead. And the Riverhounds will be on the pitch with a match against Indianapolis at 7 p.m. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Good Nature Organic Lawn Care provides organic lawn, tree, and shrub care that actually makes sense. It's created for kids, pets, and your peace of mind. Because a great lawn shouldn't come with warning labels. No harsh chemicals, no second guessing. Just greener grass the natural way. Want to know why organic is the smarter choice for your yard and your family? Get the facts and services online at whygoodnature.com. Good Nature Organic Lawn Care. Good for your lawn. Better for everything living on it.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Back at it, segment number 2. This is an opportunity for you to phone in. Healthcare, Medicare, your healthcare in general, anything that keeps you up at night and you've got some concerns about. These are the passionate people. These are the ones who will take on your problems and help you solve them. 866-391-1020. We have got wide open phone lines, and again, their number at One Health Benefits, onehealthbenefits.com, 724-799-8873, 724-799-8873. So, Dina, this is the big one, and we're going to start off with it. Out-of-pocket costs. Fear of 20% of people out there believe that they're just not going to have enough to cover the out-of-pocket expenses. So what leads to this, and what can you do to help minimize the fear? Go ahead, please. Either you or Michael.
Yeah, so I'll start off, and Michael, if you can chime in. So your out-of-pocket is called your stop loss, in essence. It's your worst case scenario. And I wouldn't be as concerned as the out-of-pocket, because the out-of-pocket, it is high, but as long as you have health insurance, the comfortable thing to know is you have a stop loss. You have your worst case scenario. Right now, I think the max is around $8,000. Each plan is different, but it's around $8,000. So you can have a $2 million expense, but your worst case scenario is your out-of-pocket maximum. So those things will all be paid as long as you make good on paying that invoice. So all, like the hospitals, the doctors, as long as you put a payment program together, they'll offer you that. They'll continue to care for you. So that shouldn't be as much of a concern that you won't get care, because you will. But yes, that out-of-pocket is high, but at least you know where it stops. So if you get cancer, that's catastrophic. You're in a major accident. You're not going to pay that full price, because if you have insurance, you know you're out of pocket, and it's most cases it's not more than $8,000 or $9,000. Michael, wouldn't you agree? Have you had anything like that happen lately where people? I think you called me the other day. You said you were asking me about a client who was scared because they just got diagnosed with cancer. And we were trying to figure out the worst case scenario for them. Do you recall that conversation we had?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. And luckily his maximum out of pocket was less than a little under $6,000. So, but you know, he was completely distraught, thinking that he was going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, because 20% of chemo can get very, very costly. And, but turns out that, you know, we put him on a great plan, and his maximum out of pocket was much lower than he thought it would be, and definitely helped him ease his mind so he could, you know, concentrate more on getting better than how am I going to pay this bill.
And that's what's so important is people think, you know, why even have health insurance? That's why. Because if something catastrophic happens, $8,000 is not a lot, okay? Because your one pill you had when you were in the hospital and all those doctors that saw you, that hit $8,000 within 5 minutes of being in the hospital. And then you're done. The rest of the year, they pay 100%. So I always take for granted that people understand that, but you don't. And I think that you should take a lot of comfort in knowing that's the reason to have health insurance, is because the plans have a maximum out of pocket. And if you're under 65, it includes the prescription. So I was happy to say, well, not really. I mean, I hit my out of pocket early this year. Every prescription I get here on in, I don't pay a penny because that was included. It doesn't work that way for Medicare. That's separate. But if you're under 65 and you hit your out of pocket, that includes all your prescriptions too. So hopefully that eases some people out there who get concerned with that out of pocket. As long as you can come up with that money, and it doesn't have to be at once. They all give you payment plans. And in the state of Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure it's like you only have to pay like $1 a week to make good on it, and they'll still process your claims and still take care of you. So don't take my word for it that it's $1 a week, but I know it's a low amount so that it is affordable and you can still have care.
All right, now listen, she also, if you have particular circumstances, you're boxed in right now with a certain bill or a situation, this is where they really are passionate, and this is their expertise. They can take those individual issues and straighten them out. So if you have a question, call us about a certain situation when it comes to your health care coverage, 866-391-1020. And if you want to call, first and last name and a working number that they can reach you during the day, it's 724-799-8873, 724-799-8873. One of the things that I admired from some of our earlier shows, Dina, was your passion when people said, look, if it was in and out or a 7-day or even a 2-week stay, month possibly, but now we're in a situation where my spouse needs long-term care. I need help getting people either into the house or find him a facility, and I'm concerned about what Medicare covers and what they don't. This is where you shine. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm actually going to let Michael talk here because Michael has a great background working in that space. So go ahead, Michael. I'll let you take care of that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, before I started doing insurance, I ran assisted living facilities and long-term care facilities for memory care, and that is very, very, very costly. So it's in your best interest. Yeah, I mean, if that's something you're worried about, that's something we can certainly help with. And it's obviously better to get it while you're younger. It is more affordable, but the average cost of long-term care right now is somewhere between $6,000 and $10,000 a month just to be able to be in a facility, whether it's an assisted living facility or whether it's a long-term care facility, skilled nursing. That's very, very costly. And generally, after a certain amount of time, Medicare doesn't cover that long-term care. So now you're on the hook for this huge bill every month. So definitely some options out there. We specialize in helping people get those benefits that they really need. It's definitely something that is in the back of people's minds. Eventually, we're all going to need a lot more care. So it is something that we are helping with. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dina.
Yeah, and the reason our parents didn't need the care we do because the advances in technology and medicine, think about it. I mean, back when our parents, they were dying from colds and flus, and it still happens now, but now we're not dying when we get diseases that our parents would die of when they got them. We're living longer with those, diseases. We're living longer, but we're still aging. So like my dad who has Parkinson's, he still needs assisted help, right? But he's probably going to live a lot longer than, he would have if this was 30 years ago because of the advance in technology within healthcare. So it's just important that we think about what do we do when we can't take care of ourselves. Are we single? Do we have a spouse to even take care of us? So then what do we do? But even if you have a spouse, you need to think about it because it takes everything out. And I'm sure everyone out there can think of someone they know who had to have extended living, and that just crushed them. It took the other person down because it was really hard to do. So not to dwell on that, but I just want everyone to think about that because this is a good time, the summer months, to talk about that because during open enrollment, annual enrollment, we're also focused on making sure the best plan, and it doesn't always allow us for the time to think about these things. So that's why Michael and I try to focus outside of annual enrollment periods about the other things because it's just so hectic during enrollment periods talking about the plan itself. We don't get to ask the ifs and buts as much.
All right, good stuff. Now listen, when we come back, up next, things that keep you up at night when it comes to your health care coverage, routine dental, vision, hearing coverage, hearing aids, things like that. People put off because they're afraid they can ease your mind. But then the big ticket item, prescription drug costs. So we're going to examine it all. We'd love to hear from you about specific situations, too. We can help real time, 866-391-1020, or call, leave your name and number, first and last name, and a working number at 724-799-8873, 724-799-8873, onehealthbenefits.com. Back in minutes.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Ooh, gas station sushi. That's preventable. And even colon cancer can be preventable if you get screened. If you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more.
When it's happening, News Radio KDKA is telling you about it.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell.
To the Rooney family, to Art, to Jim Rooney, to now young Dan Rooney, they define Pittsburgh in so many ways. They represent that city in every which way with pride. And I think this draft is something that is really important to all of them and to the Steelers in general.
The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It is 61 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A Ross Township man accused of buying hundreds of guns later tied to crimes across multiple states. Benjamin Ford is a battery foreman at U.S. Steel's Clairton plant. He's charged with 6 counts of illegally selling or transferring firearms. And investigators say he bought more than 200 guns between 2013 and 2024, with the bulk of them purchased since 2020. Investigators say 6 of those firearms were later recovered in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. Ford's attorney is Phil DeLucente.
When you have 200 guns that are registered to you, who knows what happened? It's not as if my client would take an inventory every morning of every single gun that might be available to him.
Ford is facing multiple felony charges. A Tesla vehicle caught fire in the parking garage of the Giant Eagle Market District in Shadyside. It happened around 8 o'clock Friday night. The Tesla was charging when the vehicle's battery caught on fire. Fire was quickly put out by firefighters, and no one was injured. No nearby cars or the building were harmed. Store was evacuated and closed for the night. Back open today. Police in Ingram want to know who is responsible for breaking into and damaging several cars over the past days. The incidents happened on West Prospect Avenue, Chartiers Place, and Knoll Avenue. Anyone with security cameras in the area is asked to contact Ingram Police. Well, are you ready to fish? Trout season in Pennsylvania opens today. If you're planning to participate, there are certain requirements for anglers.
Yep. If you're going to fish on the opening day of trout season or any time in Pennsylvania, you need to have a valid fishing license. And then if you'd like to fish for trout, you need to purchase a trout permit, which is an additional privilege, but that allows you to pursue and harvest trout throughout trout season.
That's Tim Schaefer, Executive Director of the Fish and Boat Commission. He says more information can be found at fishandboat.com. KDKA Radio News Time 7:32. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Why deal with crowded hotels and packed pools when you can have the whole place to yourself? At SWAC Vacation Rentals, some homes come with private lazy rivers, indoor pools, massive game rooms, and outdoor kitchens built for the whole crew. These aren't hotel rooms, they're private vacation playgrounds, managed by us, cared for by us, and ready when you arrive. And when you book direct, you keep more of your vacation budget where it belongs with you. Find your unforgettable stay at SWAC. SWACK Vacations.com. That's SWACVacations.com.
This is a message from your sponsor, Intuit TurboTax. This year, file your taxes with TurboTax and hand everything off to one of the thousands of experts who can get you filed online with 100% accuracy. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in the iOS mobile app.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Early morning showers and storms give way to clouds and sun today with a high of 84. That would break the record of 83. Rain returns for tonight, some of it heavy with a gusty thunderstorm, the low 49. Then Easter Sunday starts with a couple of showers, then cloudy and cooler, high 53, with a mix of clouds and sun Monday and another shower, high 53. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by One Health Benefits.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The people with the passion, the know-how, and the expertise. One Health Benefits, onehealthbenefits.com. Dina Schmidt and Michael Coleman for their monthly visit. They'll be back with us in May on the 16th, but they begin the first full weekend in April, giving you things that'll give you peace of mind. Yeah, those things that make you stay up at night and just wonder why. Up next, as I mentioned going into the break, Dina and Michael, lots of folks put off dental, vision, hearing exams. And, you know, some who need hearing aids are afraid to reach out or lean in. Please explain. This stuff has to be routine because you do not want to eventually end up with a major problem because you're not getting the treatment, you're not getting the exams. Put their mind at ease on what you and Michael can do to make sure before they are done with you and move back to their day-to-day routine, they will know exactly what coverage they get. Either one. Dina or Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, Michael, I'll let him go with this, but I just want to say first is the one thing that people do, especially with dental, is they call and they say, I need a root canal. Can you get me insurance tomorrow? Okay, so let's think that through. So the plan, say it's $50 a month. A root canal is about $3,000 to $6,000, or not root canal. An implant is about $3,000 to $6,000 for an implant. If you're only paying $50 a month for a plan, do you think that very next day they're going to give you $3,000 to $6,000 in a benefit? They'd lose everything they had because everyone would do the same thing. They'd call and say, I need an implant, let's get insurance. I'll pay that $50 premium. I'll get my $3,000 to $6,000 implant. Then when I come home, I'm going to call and cancel. So that is why when you go to get dental policies, you have to think in advance because they're going to put a first-year waiting period because they need to get some money out of you because you can cancel at any time. So they're going to put a waiting period on it so that they can get some premium so that they can stay in business and offer you insurance. So in order for them to keep the premium reasonable, okay, they have to do that. So you always want to think in advance when you get dental. Michael, what do you have to add? Because there's, we offer so many different plans, some PPOs, and I'm sure you can offer a lot more to that. So I'll let you go from here.
Yeah, and typically it's not that they won't cover the services the first year. It's just that they'll cover it at a smaller amount. But you will, you do get that initial coverage. It's just like you said, if the insurance company covered it 100%, they'd go broke all the time. So they do cover you, for a percentage the first year. It's just a much lower percentage, but it's better than not having anything at all. I literally had somebody the other day call me and said, hey, I just broke a tooth. I need to go see a dentist. And, it's probably going to have to be surgically removed. So in that case, she's only going to get 20% worth of coverage to have that surgically removed, but she is getting something. And it makes sense that the insurance companies do that the first year. Otherwise, like you said, they'd just go broke if everybody did that.
Exactly. So you have to think in advance, because then if you got the plan in place and it's been a year, instead of having that implant covered at 20%, they're going to cover it 50%, and some plans even cover it at 80%. So that's one thing that people don't realize. You got to think it through. I know you're not in this space, but they can't give you $5,000 in a benefit when you've only paid $50 in that plan. No carrier would be in business.
Here's what people need to also understand. It's not one and done. As Michael said, I got a call the other day. Why I'm telling people you want to lean into One Health Benefits, and Dina and Michael, I talk about their passion, who they are, one-on-one. Taylor making a perfect plan for you that, you may hit a bump pothole here in Western Pennsylvania along the road, but they're there. They're just a phone call away. So these are relationships that become friendships, and they go on as long as these people have questions. You are there, right, Dina?
Absolutely. And that's one thing I just take so much pride in is we are different. 100%. It took me forever to find someone like Michael. I wouldn't let anybody in. I was working 15-hour days, 7 days a week, vacation, holidays. I haven't gone to Thanksgiving. My mom had Thanksgiving every single year, and I couldn't go because it was the busiest time of year. I would stay home and get caught up so that I could help my clients because I wasn't willing to let anybody else in and touch my family, right? That's how I felt. My clients are my family. And I didn't trust anyone to talk to them or anything. I still give Michael a hard time, don't I, Michael?
Yeah, occasionally.
Those are my babies. This is my family, and it's just different. This was my calling, and I thank God every day that I was able to find this career because it has given me so much back, so much back. I have friends everywhere. I've gone out to dinner with people I've just really connected with that are clients that have become friends that come visit me, stay with me. I feel blessed that I was able to get into this and give back to the world. And I just absolutely love it. And I found that in Michael. It took forever for me to find him, and he's the same way. He will always do the right thing. I mean, there'll be times he'll call me, and he's like talking to doctors and calling the family, and I'm like, wow, he goes above and beyond. You do not get that other places. You don't.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that, that's the thing that sets us apart the most. I mean, as an example, I just had a client yesterday call me that was having so much problems getting a certain item approved through her insurance company, and she's been going in circles and not getting anywhere. And that's where we come in, is we can step in as the go-between between you and your insurance company. We have what we call broker managers that help us resolve those situations immediately. And it's just something that the normal average agent out there just doesn't do. And we take pride in knowing that we go that extra step and that extra mile to help our clients and weave through that maze of insurance appeals and all of that stuff. So we will always go that extra mile for our clients.
Let me stress this real quick before we take our final break. There's never a charge for their services, and I'm going to let Dina explain because that's one of those that sounds too good to be true. I don't mention it enough, and I should. So all of this that you get, these bells and whistles, plus that personalized service, and I mean it's one-on-one, there's never a charge for their services at One Health Benefit. Please explain that, Dina.
Yeah, so there's not many careers out there or many services out there that you don't have to pay for. You don't pay for ours. Nothing, not at all. Whether you use a licensed health insurance broker or not, you're paying the same price. There's no added fees whatsoever. The rates are what they are, determined by the Department of Insurance. So the Department of Insurance makes up those rates. We don't charge you and send you a bill for calling us. We get reimbursed by the carrier. So we're licensed with all the carriers. So we're not partial to any specific carrier. We work for you, our clients, and we have all the options. So we don't care if you feel that you want this carrier over carrier B. We have them all, and they compensate us, and it's the same amount for all of it. It's very regulated, extremely regulated.
I was just going to say I had a client talk to me yesterday and ask me, do you get paid more by one insurance company than you do the other? I mean, does that sway your decision in helping us guide us to the right plan? And I'm like, absolutely not. We're always paid the same amount. So we're not biased in pointing you towards a specific company. It's always that needs analysis and making sure. So we're able to have that whole repertoire of insurance companies, and you're not, there's nothing different for you. So
yeah, so we don't say, oh, we're going to put everyone with this carrier, they're paying us an extra $1. Even back in the day when they did do that, they don't do that anymore, but back in the day when it wasn't as regulated, I never did that anyway. It's all about what's best for the client, because it all comes back around. And that's why I've been in business for over 20 years, is because it's very apparent that I give you what's best for you. I've written plans that I don't get paid anything on because it was better for the client. Your needs are number one. There's many things I've done for free all the time, and that is so okay. I am okay with that because I want to do what's best, because it all comes back.
All right, so let me just add one thing, how much I appreciate what you two do. So yesterday I'm driving to the home opener to broadcast at PNC Park, and the rain was coming down, and it was kind of warm out. And I said, boy, I wish I was Dina Schmidt, because one thing I used to do was run like Dina runs, and I miss those. I miss those early, and this is a fact, those early morning runs when it was warm and the rain coming down. But I said the only difference, I was basically enjoying it, but if I know Dina, she was worrying about a client. So when you're out there running, are you thinking about your clients? You bet you are, right, Dina?
You know, that's what makes this real, is my husband knows all my clients, and he doesn't do this because our conversations, there's times where I get an email and someone says, Dina, I'm nervous, I'm at the ER and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Tim, do you mind? I know we're at dinner. Can I just step aside for a minute and give them some peace of mind? Because I know me, I would be a mess. And I wish I had that customer service that someone could say, Dina, it's okay. I'll talk to you on Monday, but let me just tell you, that's not an issue. I just want that. And it might be a 2-second call, but that's what we do. There's no 8 to 5.
No.
I'm texting someone this morning because she wants me to go into her portal to see why she got billed something. And I'm like, hey, I need that authentication code. I mean, it's 7 a.m. But I get it done, and that's this one thing that separates us. It's not that I know more than the competition. I don't know more than anyone else out there. I never claim to be that person. I do have customer service, and I'm your advocate, and that makes it different.
Absolutely. That's what separates them. So 724-799-8873. Call that number. Leave a first and last name and a working number. 724-799-8873. OneHealthBenefits.com. Your calls next. Stay with us.
We're only 19 days until the draft. Everything you need to know surrounding the draft is right here. It's brought to you by Bill Few Associates Wealth Management, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. News Radio KDKA Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Pirate shortstop Connor Griffin, Major League debut, first at bat, RBI double. Bucks go in to win 5-4 against Baltimore. And Mitch Keller gets the win. 2 teams again today, PNC Park, 4:05 first pitch. 93-7 the Fan. NCAA Women's Final Four, it was South Carolina over UConn 62-48. And UCLA defeated Texas 51-44. Men's Final Four coming up. Today, it's Illinois, Yukon, and Michigan and Arizona. Penn's Florida at 5 o'clock. Texas Open through 2 rounds. Robert McIntyre, 14 under with a 4-shot lead. And the Riverhounds will be on the pitch with a match against Indianapolis at 7 p.m. More sports at 93.7thefan.com.
Are you prepared for winter storms and possible power outages? Duquesne Light Company urges you to prepare your emergency kit ahead of the next storm. Stock up on bottled water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, a first aid kit, and warm blankets to keep you and your family safe and comfortable. And don't forget to charge your devices. A little preparation goes a long way. Learn more about how to prepare for storms year-round at DuquesneLight.com/stormplan. That's DuquesneLight.com/stormplan.
I'm with Joe Potocznik from JP Roofing and Siding, a Platinum Preferred Contractor from Owens Corning. Joe, what does that mean?
It's an elite status. We earn that by using Owens Corning products to qualify for the Platinum Preferred Warranty. That's a 50-year warranty on the materials and 25-year on the labor, 100%.
That's the upper 1% in America after 45 years, Joe. Congratulations.
Thank you, Larry.
Call JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, a couple of more things I wanted to get to with these two, Dina Schmidt, Michael Coleman, One Health Benefits, but the callers always come first, so let's go to Bill in McCandless for Dina Schmidt, Michael Coleman, One Health Benefits. Good morning, Bill.
Yes, how are you?
Good. What's your question?
Okay, it's nice to talk to you, Rob and Dina and Michael. So 2 weeks ago, I heard Dina on your show, Rob, and so I called in, and I'm 75. I'm going to be 75, and my wife's going to be 76. So we have a Medigap policy, which is very good insurance, but we started paying it started getting very high, like $600 a month, almost $300 a piece. So I talked to Michael, and he said if you're with a company a while, which I'm almost 10 years, they start raising your rates. So he said, I'm not sure because Medigap's medically underwritten, and he checked it out, and he saved us $300 a month.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow. That's great.
He put us with Wellaby. Yes.
That's insane.
High five to you, Michael. High five.
Yep.
Thank you. And that's really why we do this is to do that. It's just it gives me so much pleasure and so much joy to know that we can do that for our clients.
Well, yeah, and you said I'm not sure where they're going to take you, because I have AFib, and but I feel I'm healthy, me and my wife, and he called back at in 2 or 3 hours and said they're going to take you. Drop your other one and take this one, and we did, and we're very happy.
That's wonderful.
Hey, Bill, before you go, explain how that's a game changer, that extra $300 back in your pocket.
Oh, $300 a month. We're retired. We're not broke, but, we get Social Security and I get a pension. But $300 a month is a lot of money, and I think. And
it is.
If I was a billionaire, I would want to save $300 a month.
Exactly.
Bill,
exactly.
Congratulations, Bill, and I'm so proud of you, Michael and Dina. That's what you do best. Look, I got to get to this because I promised it. Before we go, prescription drug costs. A lot of folks simply say, I'm not taking my blood pressure medicine. It's too expensive. But in the end, it can be very expensive and can even cost your life. How do you help people stay within the boundaries of being able to afford, knowing what they're going to pay for those life-changing and alter these medicines that alter your life for the rest of your life? Go ahead, Dina.
Oh, Michael, I'll let you go. I've been talking all day. So you're the star at this moment. Go ahead.
Well, listen, the good thing is that now versus a couple of years ago, it used to be that you would fall into a coverage gap and you would pay so much more money for those drugs while you were in that coverage gap. But since the Inflation Reduction Act, everybody is, especially those that are on Medicare, they're actually capped. So as long as the drug is on the formulary and the insurance company is covering it, the cap for drugs this year is only $2,100, where in the past you would pay 10-20% up to like $4,000, $5,000. So it's a lot easier now that the rules have changed with Medicare and the drug coverage, and so but it's definitely a lot easier now for us to determine and help you pick the right plan to make sure that those drugs are covered. Right, Dina?
Exactly. It's not like it was 5 years ago. It is so much easier now to access medications. Trump is putting a lot of things together to make very popular, expensive medications reasonably priced. Mm-hmm. There's so much happening now. So it's only getting better for prescriptions to get covered. It's been, oh my gosh, I used to get so nervous when someone would call who was a diabetic, and so many people are diabetic. Insulin was so expensive. Now it's capped at $35. That's nothing. And now the GLPs and all that, they're working on those. So it's only getting better.
Dina, the last thing which I've always appreciated about you is, like, if a medication can help someone, whether it's to lose weight or, feel better when it comes to their numbers and cholesterol and blood pressure, so be it. But nobody should have a fear of when they go to that drive-through or walk up to that counter at their famous pharmacy if they're going to have enough in their pocket. You put yourself in their shoes. You know what they go through because you deal with this every day, and you would want somebody to help you, and that's why you and Michael help them. We'll end on that note. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Nobody should not have access to something that's going to give them quality of life, and it is getting better. I just think of all the new prescriptions that are out there. Now we have a GLP-1 that's a pill. No, you don't have to take it as an injection. So that's one thing we're good at. We will make sure your medicines are all covered, and that we'll make sure that we give you alternatives. There's so many options in order to be able to get them, and we are very good at help sourcing that for you.
Michael, let me give you a little bit of time. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the best thing is that we can literally tell you, we're going to know before you do how much you're going to pay when you go to the pharmacy. So you're not getting that sticker shock. We're very good at laying out exactly how much you're going to pay each month, whether you're going to go into catastrophic coverage. So we can calculate every single month. So it does help you reduce that sticker shock when you go to the pharmacy.
So, Dina, this period of time that we're in now, that the open enrollment, annual enrollment is behind us, what should people be thinking about? And this will be our last thought. Go ahead.
People should be thinking about the what if. Now is the time when we're not just talking about the specific plan. We're talking about the what if. Is that insurance card? Is that going to be enough? Is it going to pay for things that we need, like home care? There are things out there. It's called life insurance for the living. That's what I like to focus on in the summer months.
I love it. And sadly, we live in a state now, and I've talked to people who have been diagnosed with cancer and simply have said, I'm not getting treatment because I can't afford it. That's not how anyone should live, right, Dina?
Not at all. And, as we get older, I've seen it. I've had some health issues in the last year. And it's a process. Nothing is fixed immediately. My expectations had to change. I've never really had issues, and you expect instant diagnosis, instant relief. It doesn't work that way. So you have to plan in advance so that you can live your best life, and we can help you do that. Give us a call. We love our people. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Thank you for that caller who called in today to talk about Michael. I really appreciate that.
724.
Michael, you get a raise.
799. At least somebody is. 799-8873. You two, you're my heroes. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you in the middle of May, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, there they go. Two people. I mean, honestly, I have some of the best weekend people out there. They really come and bring their A game every time. So if you want to call, leave your name and number, please do. I promise you, they'll get back to you sooner than you think. 724-799-8873, 724-799-8873. Stay tuned. We got much more to come today. We're here with you until 1 o'clock. Your Pratt Pack, KDKA.
The preceding was paid for by One Health Benefits. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. KDKA Radio does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor, very atypical with the NFL draft and all the things that are going on.
We're all excited. You know, it's coming fast, but we also want Pittsburghers, and I say this wherever I go, this is also your city, this is your draft. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming from across the country, but we want Pittsburghers to be ambassadors.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Good Nature Organic Lawn Care provides organic lawn, tree, and shrub care that actually makes sense. It's created for kids, pets, and your peace of mind, because a great lawn shouldn't come with warning labels. No harsh chemicals, no second guessing, just greener grass the natural way. Want to know why organic is the smarter choice for your yard and your family? Get the facts and services online at whygoodnature.com. Good Nature Organic Lawn Care. Good for your lawn, better for everything living on it.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It is 62 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A Ross Township man accused of buying hundreds of guns, later tied to crimes across multiple states. Benjamin Ford is a battery foreman at the U.S. Steel Clairton plant. He's charged with 6 counts of illegally selling or transferring firearms. Investigators say he bought more than 200 guns between 2013 and 2024, with the bulk of them purchased since 2020. Investigators say 6 of those firearms were later recovered in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. And Ford's attorney speaking is Phil DeLucente.
When you have 200 guns that are registered to you, who knows what happened? It's not as if my client would take an inventory every morning of every single gun that might be available to him.
He's facing multiple felony charges. Police in Braddock are charging 3 adults and 1 minor after a drug and gun bust. A search warrant was executed at a home on Corey Avenue. That's where police found fentanyl, a handgun with a Glock switch and multiple magazines, and firearm accessories. The 3 adults charged, Jawan Coachman, Nathaniel Scott, and Nakia Enoch, along with an unnamed minor. In Ingram Borough, police want to know who's responsible for breaking into and damaging several cars recently. Incidents happened on West Prospect Avenue, Chartiers Place, and Knoll Avenue. Police say if you have security cameras in the area, contact Ingram Police. Trout season in Pennsylvania opens today, actually right now, 8 o'clock. Tim Schaefer, executive director of the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, tells us there will be plenty of fish in the streams and lakes this season.
We'll be stocking, well over 4.3 million
trout into the waters of Pennsylvania for this trout season, and that complements, the thousands of miles of great wild trout streams that we have. We really have something for everybody.
He says during the regular trout season, which runs until Labor Day, anglers may keep up to 5 trout per day, measuring at least 7 inches long. KDKA Radio News Time, it's 8:02. We have the AccuWeather forecast on your Saturday next.
When you invite a contractor into your home, you got to trust they know what they're doing. You want to feel good. That's why CertaPro Painters and me have gotten along for more than a decade. Hi, this is Larry Richard. Take advantage of getting the most professional job you can and know that each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your pre-estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. And take advantage of the spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing.